Hey, Joe Rulin joined right now with head coach Nick Keenan with the Champlin Park Rebels. Coach, what do you attribute that big win last week to versus St. Michael Albertville?
You know, we played really clean in the special teams area, which we hadn't done last year versus St. Michael, and had 2 interceptions, a goal line stand, blocked field goal, so kind of made some plays, but we really didn't have the hiccups we had in previous first games of the year. We played, pretty good, but still a lot of mistakes we can clean up.
Well, they say a team kind of represents and kind of that of the coach and the mindsets, and certainly you playing some defensive line in college. Your front seven looks like a pretty tough front seven to mess with, and you got to be proud of what you're seeing out of them so far.
Yeah, I mean, we try to teach technique daily and really work on it, and we kind of think if, the kids have good technique, it's going to take them far in games, so you don't have to do anything special, you just got to do your job.
What is the chore today? What's the task and what's the focus here in order to beat Andover?
Oh, they have a dynamic quarterback. I think last week he had over 200 yards rushing, 5 rushing touchdowns, another passing touchdown. He's really good, and they got, a strong group of seniors. I think they're kind of trying to show the 6A that they belong, and they got some great coaches, but I think we're going to have to slow down that quarterback.
Coach, good luck tonight. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Along with head coach for the Andover Huskies, Tom DeVellis. Tom, you got a win under your belt, and here's a quick need to know by Joe. You played Wayzata, you beat Wayzata. It's the only time in Andover's history that they've played Wayzata. What do you attribute last week's win to?
Mentality. Our kids came in, they were ready to play from the beginning. We got a huge turnover to start with, and I think that just kind of set the tone the rest of the night.
You've got a physical team here at Champlin Park. Last time Andover has played them was back in 2016. But what do you expect, and how do you plan on working through that tough front seven for the Rebels tonight?
Yeah, I think they're physical, right? Like watching them on video, they're a little different than Wayzata that we saw last week. So, that's a big challenge that we've said from the beginning of this year is that we got to get used to the physicality that this North football plays up here in 6A. So we'll see, right? It's week 2 of the season. There's going to be some mistakes, but it's about who has the least amount.
Hey, the 2025 Huskies football team. How do you like to describe this team, this version?
They've come in focused, right? So mentality last week is they do feel like they've got something to prove. A lot of people talk about, we had success, but we were 5A. So our kids have really kind of taken an approach to that and saying, all right, let's prove ourselves. And we understand the scoreboard is out of our hands, but how we perform, how we compete, the effort we give, those are things that we don't want to take a step back on.
Looks like you're also getting some great leadership on both the offense and the defense, but Mapson really really elevated last weekend.
Yeah, Joseph's a special kid, right? Like he makes an ordinary play look pretty extraordinary. So the rest of our guys kind of wrap themselves around that. They understand, he's going to have some things brought to him because of the attention he draws, and so there's going to be times that other guys are going to have to step up. And I mean, if I'm Champlin, they're going to find a way to stop him after his performance last week. So I'm excited for the other guys because they're going to have something to prove.
Hey, a lot of juice in the air. Good luck tonight, Coach, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, appreciate it.
We'll be back in just a moment. Let's go.
Good evening and welcome to Andover tonight. The Huskies host the Champlin Park Rebels in a Metro North showdown. Both teams are 1-0. Steve Thompson and Joe Rulin tonight. And we'll get you set for the game in a moment. But first, our anthem. It is a great night for football. Home opener for Andover. They are 1-0. They won on the road at Wayzata. Champlin Park 1-0. They won their home opener against St. Michael, Albertville. And, Joe, you look at this game, and it's all about Joseph Mapson for Andover. And then that dynamic duo in the backfield for Champlin Park, Miles Felton and Preston Nelson. All those guys had a huge hand in opening game victories.
And they certainly did. That's an area that I know with Andover, the development of Joseph Mapson, he's really matured in the offseason as well. Just some great training, but his ability to take leadership, but also more confident running that ball, and he is explosive running it. Meanwhile, Preston as well, and his Champlin Park's backfield, all very strong. A strong runner in Miles Felton, and a big guy to bring down at about 6'5", 210.
And we're just about ready to go at Champlin Park on the road there in white, Andover in their home black. And it'll be Weigert and Grabnick back deep for the Andover Huskies, and doing the kicking duties for Champlin Park, Trace Fitzgerald. We saw him, and he was outstanding in that big win over St. Michael Albertville. Felton, a running touchdown, a throwing touchdown. Nelson, the backbreaker, a long touchdown run late. And then, of course, as you heard, Nick Keenan is very well aware of Joseph Mapson. 5 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air for Andover in their big win on the turf at Wayzata. Almost perfect weather for football here tonight. We have a bit of a breeze, but as we move through the night, that should quiet down a little bit. We are ready to go at Champlin Park at Andover tonight here on QCTV, and sit back and enjoy the ball game. And Fitzgerald comes to the ball, and a good strong kick to the far sideline, headed toward the sideline, skips out of bounds, and Andover will take that penalty and get very good field position.
Yeah, last week against Wayzata, the tempo was set from the opening kickoff when the Huskies forced a fumble and recovered it on the opening kickoff. Went in. And from that, they've converted on a 31-yard field goal to jump out early.
Mapson's wearing number 3. Grabnick, the running back. He'll wear 0. They'll be the duo in the backfield. 3 receivers, Weigert, Johnson, Fields, and Chenoweth. 3 to the left. And we have a slot back to the left. And once again, it's Mapson. What a game. 216 yards on the ground. Slings it out to the near side. Weigert catches. Breaks a tackle. 40, 45, 50 into Rebel territory. And he'll be brought down near the 44-yard line. A big gainer right there of 21 yards.
Yeah, Weigert last week, 5 catches, 39 yards, and a touchdown. Mapson hits him early. He breaks the tackle, runs it right down the sideline to pick up first down and additional change.
Empty backfield, trips to the right, 1 to the left, man in motion, and that is Chenoweth, and they sling it out. No gain, actually a loss on the play, and a good job there by the Rebels defensively. That was Oghetto on the tackle.
Yeah, you know, they're going to really try to see the Huskies, as you look and see, are they going to operate in a 3-4 or the 4-4 as they did last week? They're starting in that 3-4. And now have 4 down linemen here on 2nd and 11.
Mapson rolls left, 2nd down and 11, slings it out. It's caught at the 36-yard line, and he is shoved out of bounds by the Rebels' Mario Robinson, who led the team in tackles a week ago with 6.
Hey, and that defense secondary also for the Rebels, 2 interceptions, but one of those interceptions came from the defensive lineman in Jalen Purnell last week.
3rd down, 2 yards to go. Andover moving right along. They've got Mapson at quarterback. And he'll hand it off right up the gut. Flags fly. That one could come back. That could be a hold. We'll see about that. Or a face mask on the Rebels. But either way, hold everything after that first down run.
Yeah, it's Gravink who was back there. And Gravink last year, he got his first start in the Elk River section championship game. And in that matchup, he rushed the ball 31 times for 225 yards. against Delaware in that championship game. But last week he had 22 carries, did Colin Gravink, and 22 carries for 73 yards.
So Gravink got what appeared to be enough for the first down, but they're going to sort out the penalty here. He needed the 34, and he got inside the 34 on that first run of the game for him. And the Rebels, I think, trying to figure out what they want to do with the penalty here. I don't know what the debate is. You would assume you'd take the penalty and march him back.
Personal foul, hands to the face on number 69. 15 yards, replay.
Wow, that's a big one.
Number 66.
That's going to take it all the way back to midfield and just beyond. That'll be in Andover territory at the 49-yard line, Joe.
It is.
Huge penalty.
Tough one. They had that first down, as you mentioned, or close to it, but they would have had third and short if not for that penalty. Now they've got third and about 16.
Won't call it a mile. Maps an empty backfield. 3 to his right, 2 to the left. Split to the near side is Gravink. Gravink right along the sideline. Now we have a timeout. Andover's going to talk it over.
Coach DeVellis came out and called the time. You could see there was some confusion, maybe about what was the read or maybe an indicator on how to switch which play. But they did a good job, the Rebels, at kind of really confusing the Huskies and Joseph Mapson.
Well, and 3rd and 17 can be confusing no matter what the circumstance. And here we are still early in the year. But a big penalty on Andover takes it back to their own 49-yard line. Drive started at the 35. More about Mapson in the opener. What a game. 8 of 17 through the air, 83 yards, a touchdown, no picks. And then on the ground, 216 yards and 5 touchdowns. That's about as good as it gets.
Well, you know what? Let's just say during the summer, it just seemed like he hit that switch, took on and get that leadership mindset moving, and also for maybe more casual about his approach during the summer. He kicked it in next year. Also, some great times at the conditioning, his time in the 40. I'll share more about that as well. That's improved.
3rd down and 17, 49-yard line, onto the timeout. Mapson straight back. Blitz is on. He'll scramble out of there. He's going to tuck it under his arm and run over the 50, the 40, the 35 along the sideline. Still on his feet. Dropped down at the 17-yard line, but look out. There is a flag at the 42-yard line. This one could be coming back.
Yep, or maybe perhaps pass interference of some sort, but we'll find out. But you could see that agility and how explosive Mapson is, more so this year. Last year, he ran the ball well, including for 704 yards. Here's another look as he gets to the outside, and he beats one of the best defensive players in the state right there as a junior, and he continued to move it on down. That was Ogunti he beat. And Will Ogunti works as a defensive end, a linebacker, and he also returns punts. But this time,
will be declining. First down.
That'll be a hold on the Rebels. They're going to decline it and take the maps and run all the way down to the 17-yard line. Gain of 34 on the play.
Yep, I'll tell you, they only needed 16. So he decided he'd nudge it ahead another 18 yards for a 34-yard pickup. Excellent show of his skills.
Mapson with Gravink to his right. He'll take the snap. He'll sling it out to the left. It's caught at the 18-yard line. And then going out of bounds near the 10-yard line down there is Aiden Weigert.
Weigert's third reception here on the opening drive. And they are finding something on that matchup with Weigert that they've been taking advantage of. He's already eclipsed last week's total. He had 5 catches, 39 yards. He's eclipsed the 39 yards.
Mapson near side along the end, steps out of bounds. Maybe got a yard on the play. Very close to a 1st and goal. And I think maybe he did step out of bounds with enough for the 1st and goal. He needed the 8, and I think they're going to give him the 7-yard line. They haven't moved the chains.
They're signaling on the far side to move this, and they have. So 1st down and goal to go here for the Huskies.
Mapson along with Graving. Mapson hands it to Graving. Spin move 5. Still on his feet, stacked up at the 4 and driven back by the Rebels. Good job by the O-line. Colton Miller to center. Vincent Jeffrey left guard. Eddie Miles right guard. Tyler Kosek left tackle. Blaine Raisler the right tackle, and they did a pretty good job to get him inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd down and goal there.
They have a task with a tough and a strong and a big defensive line for the Rebels.
Mapson's going to run left, cuts it up, and stacked up at the 1-yard line. He didn't get into the end zone. He was shoved out of bounds. Great shot by our crew.
Yeah, there's Leo Chroma, who came up with that tackle, and linebacker forced into that 3-4. Also involved in that tackle is Jalen Purnell, 6'3", 215.
And this one, did it get to the end zone? It did. Touchdown, Andover. And Mapson again. And on the year, Mapson is 6th touchdown on the ground already.
Well, they overcame some adversity after the penalty in a long 3rd and 16. And the play of that drive was the 34-yard scamper as Mapson got outside of the pocket and protection and was able to go the distance there. He plunges in from just inside the 1.
Extra point on the way. Peyton McKnight, snap, spot, kick, plenty of leg, and it is good. And Andover in their home opener has a 7-0 lead on the Champlin Park Rebels. The drive goes 65 yards, capped off by the Mapson 1-yard touchdown run up the middle.
Yep, and the extra point by Peyton McKnight. She's on the girls' soccer team here at Andover. Had a game last night, and she fires that through the uprights. She had 3 extra points last week in the win versus Wyzetta. So that first drive goes well for Coach DeVellis. Just what he would like. A little timeout that he called on 3rd and 16 as the play clock was rolling down. Really proved to be a big timeout and a well-utilized timeout, because it was after that timeout, it was Mapson. He picked up 34 as he broke outside the pocket and got that 1st down.
Kate Raisler is going to kick it off from the 40-yard line. The wind has really died down. By the way, 9 plays, 65 yards. Time of the drive, 2:31. Mapson, the 1-yard touchdown run. And here comes Raisler to the ball. And it's kicked end over end. That's going to go out of bounds. So both teams kick it out of bounds. So the Rebels will get it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line and see what they can do on offense.
Yeah, it looked like that was maybe an attempt at some sort of squib kick to maybe drop it around to 25, 20, but it took off with some velocity on after that spin and set. So they're going to set it at the 35.
Miles Felton, the quarterback. Preston Olson, the running back. The wideouts, Landon Olson-Gray and Trace Fitzgerald. The tight end, Isaac Haxness. 21-yard catch a week ago and a touchdown. The wing of Jaden Oligmuller. And then up front, offensive tackle Billy Vang, Dylan McNamara guard, Sam Yang the center, Owen Schornstein the guard, Ashton Tucker the tackle.
1st down, Champlin.
They've got some size on that offensive line. At 74, Ashton Tucker, 6'2", 280. Schornstein, 6'2", 255. And at center, Sam Yang, number 54, 5'11", and 290.
So here we go. Felton, the quarterback, takes that snap, play action, throws the slant, incomplete. hit almost immediately out there was the intended receiver, Trace Fitzgerald, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that was almost simultaneously the contact, and as that ball hit the numbers, as he was sliding to kind of protect on that low delivery. And you see their good job of closing it up on the corner there for the Huskies. A left-handed passer, so that is a pass that you want to see him complete, and he throws that ball extremely well.
2nd down, 10 yards to go. Once again, the quarterback, Felt Nelson, the running back, standing to his left. Another play action, blitz on. Felton in trouble, sacked. Back at the 21-yard line. 3 Huskies in all over that play. He hardly had any time to do anything. And that was just everybody in on him.
Caden Raisler, I think, got the initial contact.
Raisler got bumped, but the hit and then got help.
Perhaps Raisler wanted to avenge that kickoff when it went out of bounds. He certainly played with a mission on that down. And the first sack there for Raisler.
Loss of 12 on the play. 3rd down, 22 for the Rebels. And it's going to be Felton rolling out, trying to get to the edge. Throws on the run. It's caught. And they get back to near the original line of scrimmage. That was Oleg Mueller with the catch, and he got dumped at the 34-yard line. That'll set up 4th down and 11 yards to go.
Yeah, just as soon as he had a chance to secure the ball and move it upfield and take the first couple of steps, he was there and uprooted that time by the tackler on that far side. I believe that was Tristan Chenoweth who picked up the tackle.
So now the Rebels are going to punt. On to punt for them is Fitzgerald. And one player back deep, and that is Weigert. Snap is good, kick is away. Wobbler takes an Andover bounce, and it'll be touchdown at the 38-yard line. So Weigert didn't need to handle it, and Andover will have it 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line, up 7-0.
Good series, boy. This is the first series, both offensively and defensively. Couldn't have been drawn up and strategized any better, and then executed. And a quick 3 and out, including a sack for the Huskies, and now they get some impressive field possession on their 2nd series.
And really, on that, Champlin Park didn't try to run the ball at all. They tried to throw. They got the sack, and now right back at it is the quarterback Joseph Mapson. His running back, Raving. They'll swing it out, and it is caught by Weigert. And Weigert sent out of bounds. That's going to be a late hit. That's going to be a penalty on the Rebels.
That's a face mask. I believe he got a good portion of the helmet or the mask.
Oghetto.
As he took Weigert down.
It was a short gain of 3 on the play, but you're going to be able to tack 15 yards on this one. We'll see it right here. And, yeah, he got him up around the helmet. And if it's not a face mask, that's a horse collar. In the Webster's dictionary, that is.
He might have gotten part of that ear hole as well. And, Charles Oghetto on that penalty.
15 yards from the end of the run, 1st down.
So you're going to get the gain of 3, then the penalty for 15. And that'll take it into Rebels territory all the way down to the 44-yard line.
Huskies,
so that's a big one.
You got it. Huskies back to the line, trips to the right.
Slap back left, Abson the quarterback. And it's going to go right up the gut, Raving for a couple. And that's probably not a bad idea to keep the inside honest. They've been able to spread it around and run to the edges and throw it outside, but they go up the gut for a couple there.
Yeah, got to have balance on that attack.
Gain of 2, 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Absent. What a start to his senior year. 2 wide receivers left, 2 to the right. Waits for the snap, goes straight back. Steps up. Now he's going to tuck it under his arm. Look out, 40. Tries to get to the edge, and he's wrapped up. Outstanding defensive play over there by Oghetto. He didn't let him get away.
They wrapped him up, the 6 foot, 190-pounder linebacker, Charles Ogeta. Excellent tackle in open field to get Mapson. Tough one to tackle. He got the contact, slowed him down, and as Mapson was going to cut back, lost his footing, but nonetheless, he did a good job of obstructing the progress and didn't allow Mapson to get beyond him.
They're going to say 3rd down and 7 on the board, but I'm kind of looking at
the first down was the running play.
Yeah.
The second.
Yeah, they haven't set the ball down for whatever reason. Yeah, they had the first down. They had to run to the 42.
Just 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
Wow.
Did not see that flag get tossed.
I didn't either. But we got another penalty. It'll take the ball back into Andover territory, back to the 48-yard line. So another penalty here, and it moves Andover back to a 2nd down and very long situation. 2nd down and 18. They need to get it all the way to the Rebel 34-yard line. Mapson has Graving in the backfield, straight back. Mapson airs it out near sideline, overshoots the intended receiver. That was Chenoweth.
Just missed him on that time. It was a well-thrown ball, maybe a little bit more trajectory, but Chenoweth was trying to get one hand up. I think the defender did a good job of obstructing that other hand from getting up to lock in on 2. Nice defensive play back there. That time by, I think that's Mario Robinson. Yeah, that was Eric Lukes. My fault, Eric Lukes.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Rebels weren't really up to the line of scrimmage and lined up, and a wise timeout because Andover, Joe, they play with great pace. I mean, they are ready to go. They get the play in, and Mapson gets them to the line of scrimmage.
It does. And you know what? That's one of the toughest parts is it's not a hurry-up offense, but the spread that they offer is a fast-paced, off-balance spread is the base formation. But getting there and keeping tempo and keeping the other team from being able to really get settled and make their defensive calls. And then this early in the season, I got to think it starts to hit you from an exhaustion standpoint, from stamina. And Coach Nick before the game said that the opening of the last week, St. Michael put together like an 18-play drive in the opening drive, and he goes, we were cramping up so early, and he goes, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little bit more here yet tonight, as the conditioning, you can only do so much conditioning, but it's tough to simulate that contact and the physicality of the game in practices.
3rd down, 18 for Andover, their own 48-yard line. They lead at 7-0. We've kind of been plodding along here in quarter number 1. A lot of stops, a lot of penalties. And Mapson sends trips to the short side of the near side of the field. He'll go straight back. He's going to step up. He's going to throw on the run and miss the intended receiver out there, Michael Fields, along the far sideline. That would have been more than enough for a first down, but he overshot him.
Not by much. He stepped up and on the run threw a near strike. And I think, boy, didn't miss on that connection. Look at that. Coming in and just missed it. I'm not sure if the receiver saw it late or what, but punting now will be Mapson.
Eric Lukes on the coverage, did a pretty good job there, and Mapson will punt. And you got to be aware of that. You want to keep an eye on him because, boy, you have a punter and a quarterback that can run like Mapson. Look out. 2 players back deep for the Rebels. They stay on side. Mapson's going to kick it away. Good high kick, and that's going to hit and take a Champlin Park bounce and be touched at the 26-yard line. So the Rebels will get it back. They get a stop down by 7.
They do. Just what they needed. And now we'll see if they come back to that running game. I mean, you got a guy last week in Preston Nelson, 20 carries, 160 yards, and a TD. He's got some juice. And I'll tell you, we'll have to see if they got to get back. You know they're going to get at least to get a touch on to the running back on this possession.
Yeah, and you would think down 7-0 on the road that they threw it 3 times trying to get it to Andover off balance. Let's see what Felton does here. Gives it to Nelson, tries the left side, and he forces his way out to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3 on the play, second down.
Yeah, Nelson comes in. Good size, too, for the running back. 6 foot, 195. Likes the pounding ground. It was a squad last year, the Rebels. Ended their season 4-6 last year, averaging about 123 yards throwing and 140 running the ball.
Well, and I think what they ran into trouble a week ago is their D spent a lot of time on the field in the 3rd and 4th quarter, and I think you got to be able to run the ball and rest that defense a little bit. Empty backfield, Felton the quarterback, and we got a flag, another flag. And this is something that Champlin Park did against St. Michael Albertville, and that was a false start.
Snap, false start on the offense. Number 71, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
There we go. Well, you can't afford to be moving back when you're having trouble getting any offensive momentum. So we'll see if they work some sort of screen, or maybe that run option here for Miles Felton. Such a big guy at 6'4", 205. And an explosive runner in his own.
And just a junior. Nelson just a junior. Straight back, set up the screen. He's got some blockers and room. He breaks out of there. Nelson over the 45 to the 46-yard line. Well-designed play, well blocked. And the Rebels near midfield.
You know, that's a signature play for the Rebels, as we've covered them for the last 10 years. They go through numerous running backs, but they know how to set up the screen. And this is such a difficult play, but the execution, the right guy, you have to delay. You can't just sprint through it. Nelson operates it and executes so well on that screen.
Another false start on the Rebels.
Snap, false start on the offense.
That'll take them back to the 41.
5-yard penalty, first down.
And they got to clean that up. And that's back to the 41-yard line. By the way, a gain of 22 on the screenplay. And more importantly, Joe, that gives that defense a little more rest. You move the chains, you pick up the false start, but they've got to feel good that they were able to move the ball, get the ball in Nelson's hand, and use his speed. Here's Felton waiting for the snap. And once again, keep that O-line put. And you're going to have Felton run the option. Nelson on the pitch out, breaks a tackle over the 46. Got to the original line of scrimmage, so we got the 5 yards back there.
Yep, Felton absorbed a bit of a shot after he pitched. But Nelson picks up just about 6 on the play. Hitting it there. Good tackle on that far side by Chenoweth to at least slow him up, as the corners will be busy trying to make one-on-one tackles tonight.
And by the way, a gain of 4 on the play. I misspoke. Second down, 11 yards to go. Under 4 to go. Quarter number 1. Andover scored on their opening drive. They went 65 yards. Mapson from 1 yard out. Kick was good. They're going to run the option again, and Nelson didn't fool anybody. And that may have been Chenoweth coming up and making the play, and he did. He read it all the way.
Well, he used that sideline as well. The pitch was short. They went to the short side of the field, which was their strong side at that point, but he had nowhere to run after he pitched it. And it was fortunate he lost just about a half a yard on that. We'll see if they dial up. See if they come back to a screen. I know it's early, but they run that screen so well to the Rebels.
Slap back right, wide receivers left and right. Felton the quarterback, Nelson the running back. 3rd down and 12, straight back. Has a little time, scrambles out of there. Now has some running room. He's going to tuck it under his arm. Dive to the 49-yard line. Did he put it on the ground? He did, but they said he was down at the 49-yard line. So he gained about 5 on the play, maybe 6 to the 50-yard line, but it is still 4th down.
But I think that gives them the thought of, hey, we can actually just go for this on 4th and 5 rather than certainly punting. Good pass protection that time by that O-line. It did come out.
It was out, but no replay. And you're right, Joe, it looks like they're going to set up and go for it, unless they're going to try and draw Andover off. Felton under center, Nelson to his left. They're going to try and hard count. They may burn a timeout coming up on 2 to go in the quarter. And now he's going to quick kick. Brings down the high snap and boots it away. And it's a beautiful spiral. And it'll carry into the end zone for the touchback. But I think the Rebels will settle for that.
That was a 50-yard punt.
Yeah.
A step, two steps
turned
back.
over.
He did. He got the spin on that so well. And almost got that punt to rest and retire right on the 1 or 2 yard line. But yeah, you're right. Hey, they'll change spots. They'll from the force Andover to start the deepest they have in their own end at the 20-yard line. They've started at the 35 and at the 37 on their first 2 series. And let's see what this drive here, series number 3, will bring.
Mapson along with Graving in the backfield. Mapson waiting to snap. And goes in motion. 2 wide receivers, or 1 to the left, now 3 to the left. It is caught on the run, and that's Weigert. And Weigert got 7 out to the 27-yard line.
I'll say that's Weigert's 4th reception here in the first quarter. And that little bubble out there on that screen kind of gets a little bit of juice going. A healthy pickup of almost 6, maybe 7 on first down.
Second down, 3 yards to go. Graving to running back. Mapson 5 yards behind his center. Takes a snap, kicks it out. Graving cuts it back, tackled forward to the 35-yard line, maybe even to the 36-yard line. Easy first down.
Hey, I mentioned it earlier, but when Colin Graving was kind of jumped into that starting lineup at the end of the season in that championship game versus Elk River, he was getting lit up and pounded, but he did not stop. 31 carries, 225 yards in that championship game versus Elk River.
Mapson runs the option, sidesteps the tackler at the 50, still on his feet. 35, 30, 25, 20, along the sideline, shoved out of bounds near the 10. What a run by Mapson. He would not go down.
You know, and after contact, he then hit the next gear. Eludes it right there on the logo at the 50, a little shake and bake, and it's all coming back.
Wow. Dynamic run by Mapson, all for naught. And that's going to be a big penalty on Andover and take them back into their own end. And that is a huge penalty, but still it was a fun run.
It was. But the penalties for Andover have been double digits.
Spotted the penalty, the 39, so it'll go back to the 29-yard line on the hold.
Yeah, those are huge. I mean, there have been at least 10, 15-yard penalties.
So that hurts. So now it is first down and 17. Mapson straight back. And this is just a little slant route, breaking out of there on the run. Chenoweth over midfield down to the 41-yard line. Well, that was just a little inside screen set up beautifully. And they gained 31 on the play in a first down.
Yeah, it almost looked like a middle screen as it got set up. And a job of reading the blocks, executing just a little stutter step to allow a block to develop more.
Graving right up the middle with running room, breaks tackles, still on his feet, finally shoved down at the 22-yard line. He just burst through there and would not be stopped. Sano made the tackle, and another first down and a gain of 18.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a big running back, but very agile.
Mapson with room, still on his feet. And he's going to carry it inside the 10 to maybe the 9-yard line. And Andover, they get the play in, and they're ready to go. And this Champlin Park defense on their heels right now. First and goal.
Yeah, I'm watching to see if they're going to switch it down to maybe 4 up front and move back to that 4-4, and they do that. They've had it 3-4 and 4-4 thus far.
Gravink in the middle, got stacked up and driven back. Did get a little, maybe a yard. By the way, that run was 14 yards for the first and goal. And then a short gain there. It'll be second and goal. Well, and that'll be the final play of the quarter, too.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to see as we start the second if the Huskies can close up on this third drive, the third series for the touchdown.
So Andover leads at 7-0. When we come back, they'll have second and goal. And they lead the Champlin Park Rebels here in week 2, 7-0. But they're looking for more here on QCTV.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey football fans, welcome to Andover and our Husky Stadium.
Tonight is Andover Youth Night and our Tackle Cancer fundraiser. Big shout out to the youth players and families here. And a huge welcome to the Rebels and our visitors from Champlin Park.
Quick reminder, we're playing under Minnesota State High School League rules, which means sportsmanship is part of the game.
As team captains, we want to remind everyone, sportsmanship matters.
Be loud, be proud, but keep it positive. No trash talk, no negativity. Show respect to both teams and the refs.
Let's make sure tonight is an awesome experience for all players and fans on both sides of the field. Thanks for being here and enjoy the game.
And we are back. Quarter number 2 coming up, and the Huskies lead the Rebels 7-0. Look at quarter number 1, Joe.
Yeah, some big plays and getting it right out to Weigert, right out of the gate. Found himself a sieve next to the sideline. Then Mapson goes left, takes, bubbles outside, finds some open territory. That's the big run, a 34-yard run on what was a 3rd and 16, and he caps it with this touchdown plunge on that first series of the game.
There's a big sack. Mapson, left side, into the end zone. Second touchdown on the ground. He just faked the handoff inside and ran to the outside. 13-0 Andover.
Yeah, he's so smooth. It's just a fake inside, bounces outside, and scampers again for his second touchdown of the game. The first play of the second quarter. That's an 80-yard drive for Andover after that huge punt by Champlin Park on that 4th and 5.
Peyton McKnight on to try the extra point. The holder is Mapson. The snap, the spot, and the kick. Plenty good. And Andover extends their lead 5 seconds in to quarter number 2. 14-0. Second touchdown run of the game for Mapson. 7th touchdown run of the year. And the Huskies are rolling at home.
And Mapson had close to another 60-yard run called back because of a hold. But the next play, they got it set as he was able to find Chenoweth on a quick middle screen. Bubbled his way outside, bounced there, and picked up a healthy gain as he also got Chenoweth his first reception of the game. He had been thrown mostly to Weigert, who has 4 receptions here early in the second quarter. But Gravink as well contributing, some hard running, good gaps, hitting those seams. And they're certainly getting the balance that they want, the Andover Huskies and head coach Mike DeVellis.
7 plays, 80 yards, 208, 6-yard touchdown run by Joseph Mapson. Point after is good, 14-0 to kick it off. Caden Raisler, high end over end, short kick taken at the 16-yard line. Here come the Rebels, and that's going to be carried out to the 30-yard line, and that was Eric Lukes.
Yeah, tough pile up. But they'll start it on their own 30, and this will be their Rebels' 3rd series of the game as well. They got some movement on that running game. Got some handoffs to Preston Nelson. but their big boom play last possession was the screen, and that was executed well by Nelson and the offensive line.
But they can't afford the false starts. They've got to play a clean game if they're going to get back into it. They just can't afford to give away 5 yards against his Andover defense. And here comes Felton along with Nelson in the backfield. They're going to give it to Nelson, and he'll surge his way to the 33-yard line, a tough 3 yards. But once again, I like that. Slow the game down a little bit, get the clock on the move, establish that running game.
It's almost like they got to the line and said, we're not going to jump because we're going on one, or we're going on sound. And that's exactly what happened. They got it. It certainly takes just a little bit of time there for the quarterback, even though he's close to the bench, to run to the bench and come back.
Boy, great night for a ball game. Tackle cancer night, huge crowd. Youth football players honored before the game, and they're going to swing it out, and it is caught immediately, a little bubble screen, and on his feet and on the move is Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald has a big game over midfield down to the Andover 45-yard line. That was a well-designed screen to the left side.
Yeah, he had a lot of room once he caught that ball. It was tough for the safety to come up and close on him, and he was able to get some progress. And with the safety coming in, he could, make a fake one way and nudge him off and continue down. Good play, good execution.
Gain of 22, 11 minutes to go in the quarter. I'm not sure why they haven't started the clock. They set the chains, and they'll hand it off. Here's Nelson on his feet, powers his way forward for 2, maybe 3. Before he stacked up down low, and there were a number of jerseys around that football, including Kane for the Andover Huskies, and it is just a gain of 2.
Well, the coach for the Rebels, and as we get things with Nick, I'll get you more about that, and one of the Husky coaches as well.
2 wide receivers to the right, including Fitzgerald, who had that big gainer a moment ago. Nelson to the right of the quarterback, Miles Felton. Felton's going to sprint out. He's in a little trouble. He's going to run out of there, keeps it alive, throws. It is caught, and that was a nifty little play as he hit Axness. He kept that play alive and found Axness. He hauled it in. His second catch of the year. A week ago, 1 catch, 21 yards for a TD.
Yeah, nice job to extend the play that time by Felton. Executed it there. I was going to say Coach Keenan for the Rebels and the defensive coordinator for the Huskies, Ken Weichel, both played college ball at Morehead State. I believe they even might have been roommates for a couple of years, but they know each other well, chatting before the game. Good history.
Rebels hand it off. Nelson with room over the 35 all the way down to the 31-yard line, maybe the 30. That is a first down, and a nice quick hitter right up the gut. Nelson showed his quickness there.
Yeah, I was checking to see if that was a trap. That opened up so quickly. But bam, the hole was there. They wasted a little time, and when they get back to the huddle and get themselves set, they seem to execute much better, much more proficiently.
He was somersaulted down there by Samoka Kane. Gain of 9, first down and 10. Rebels on the move at the Andover 30-yard line. 9 minutes to go, quarter number 2. They're down by 2 scores. Play action. They throw it out wide open. It is caught. Axness to the end zone. Touchdown, Rebels from 30 yards out. Beautiful play. Axness wide open, and he just bowled his way into the end zone.
Held on to the football, but not his helmet. But there was a great seam that he found right there and cut it right up. Such a big fella there. Tough to bring him down. He's 6'3", 220 pounds, and used that size to bumper car his way into the end zone. Good drive by the Rebels. Excellent balance.
They go 70 yards for the score. On to try the extra point, Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald was perfect a week ago. Weather not a factor here tonight. Snap, spot, and the kick. Plenty good. And Champlin Park has pulled to within 7. Huskies lead at 14-7 with 8:51 to go in quarter number 2.
Yeah, the Rebels reciprocate with a 70-yard drive. But what I really enjoyed watching, a little quick screen to the outside. Picked up a good 21 yards on that. Some great running. Some quick hitters by Nelson. And then, of course, he had Felton extending the play to get enough for an 8-yard gain on the pass, would put up a good situation and in range. And now this last completion that went to Axness, and he hit him right in stride, right in the letter, so he could take it and then continue up that seam that was wide open on some blown coverage by Andover.
One of the things the Rebels did is they used some quick hitters. They had more pace to their plays. They weren't using rollouts and slow developing plays. They were coming right at Andover. The quick hitter on Nelson in a big gain was huge on that drive. And oh, by the way, Joe, no penalties.
I was just going to say that. That was just going to end that sentence with no penalties. And you're right. So flawless on that drive, right? And so they know they can do it. They know what that picture-perfect template looks like. And they're back to within just one touchdown.
Fitzgerald to kick off, 40-yard line. High, end over end, carrying deep. And that is going to be Weigert. Weigert right up the gut. Flag flies. This one could be coming back. He's still on his feet. But if that flag came in from the back, it's typically a hold or a block in the back. And Weigert appears to be injured, getting up slowly.
Yeah, he was taken down pretty hard at the end of that tackle. And, boy, seeing some juice now from the Rebels.
Block in the back during the return. On the return team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
So Andover making some mistakes, but the one thing they have in their favor is Joseph Mapson. He has been dynamic.
He has, and hey, you got to keep in mind he's overcome some of the long penalties called by the Huskies on the Huskies for holding. This illegal use of the hands moves them back another 15. I think that's penalty number 6 maybe here in the first half on Andover.
We're starting field position of the game. On 35, on 38, on 20. Now they're on 11 here in quarter number 2, up 14-7. And they're going to hand it off right up the middle, and being driven back is Colin Graving. Yep. And Graving maybe got 2. It'll be second down and 8 yards. He was stacked up immediately by that Rebels defense, and up front, they're going with the 34, Finley, Kamara, Purnell, the starting 3 up front for the Rebels in white.
Now they have 4 players with their hand in the grass here, so maybe they rock back to a 4-3 or 4-4 rather, and see what transpires here.
Straight back, Mapson, plenty of time, scrambles out, now being chased. Rebels are going to wrap him up and drop him for a loss, and a flag flies. And did they get a face mask here? Boy, that would be a big penalty on the Rebels after containing Mapson and bringing him down at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, Croma was one of the linebackers.
Oh.
Was able to get to Mapson.
Or it could be a hold.
They're pointing towards
see. I don't see. Did I see a hand on a helmet there? Maybe 44 got the hand up high. Croma. I'm not sure.
Another committee meeting here by the officials if they want to get it right.
We've had a number of those already in this game. Here we go, the announcement.
We got 2 penalties on the play. On offense, illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield. On the defense, I got a personal foul, number 44, 15-yard face mask. Those penalties offset, replay second down.
Wow, Rebels got a big break there. And I think it was Croma with the face mask on that play.
Steps up here. See that with in the illegal formation. Initially, as you can see, 5 in the backfield. Or was that 99 who had the hand?
Yeah, either or. Nevertheless, 2nd down and 8. It's called on the playground a do-over. Do you guys have those in Morton growing up?
Playgrounds?
Yeah. Well, not sure. We had a lot of do-overs. And there's one pitch to the outside. Graving got a few of it back over the 15 out to about the 17, 18-yard line. And do we have another flag? No, that was just a mistake on the screen.
I like how Gravik runs. Very patient runner, and then finds a spot. Now leaves a 3rd and short.
Yeah, 3rd down, long 3. It's doable. Slant caught on the ground. Should be close to a 1st down. He needed to get to the 21-yard line. There was a big hit out there on Michael Fields as he caught that slant. And they are going to give him the 1st down. Look at this. But a big lick put on him right at the end of the play there. And driving him back for Champlin Park was Nick Keenan.
Yeah. Coach Keenan's son, you wouldn't expect anything different. A perfect technique tackle.
Short gain, maybe a yard.
We haven't mentioned this yet, but the Rebels really only had, I want to say, 3 or 4 players returning from last year's team.
Yeah, very young team.
And so Keenan is one of those rare seniors who's back this year, and you can tell he plays a key role at that safety position.
Gain of 3 on the play out to the 25-yard line. And we come up on the midway point of quarter number 2. Andover with the ball and leading at 14-7. Mapson, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Player goes in motion. That's Fields. Straight back. Mapson hits Fields. It is another bubble screen to the outside, and he is driven out of bounds. And it looks like short of the 1st down.
He's down short by about a yard, I believe.
Yeah, he got it over the 30 to near the 31-yard line. No, he went out of bounds back at the 28. Short gain on the play, 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Grave Inc. over the 30 to the 31. He had to have the 32, so that'll be 4th down.
Yes, it will. See if they bring him to the line, maybe see if they can draw a penalty.
And they play with great pace. Trips way out to the right. Mapson under center. 4th down and 1 in their own end. And Mapson's going to take it, tuck it under his arm. Rebels smelled it, and they drop him for a loss at the 28-yard line.
That play was huge coming up.
Leonhardt
making that stick. Yep, Logan Leonhardt.
Wow.
And look how well he tackled. He held on. It was Gravik trying to get the block. Gravenhart, but Hart's a big fella.
Well, Joe,
pounds.
That's a huge gamble for Andover in their own end, up 14-7. They figured Mapson would get it. Leonhardt, who had 10 total tackles a week ago, had other ideas, and now the Rebels back in business. 1st and 10 at the Andover 29-yard line.
Yeah, Leonhardt was on a mission on that particular play. Got to mark this one on a mental hard drive. It could be a big turnaround play for the game.
Felton's going to run it all the way right side and pushes his way inside the 25. Dives to maybe the 24 where the knee is down. And a good solid gain on 1st down. Clock on the move, coming up on 5 to go, quarter number 2.
Coach DeVellis rounding the troops, getting them together, kind of a refocus and set on execution. That time the blocking was not there, obviously. But it was an excellent tackle by Leonhardt, who got a hold and brought down the elusive Mapson.
2 wide receivers to the left. Nelson to the left of the running back, or the quarterback, Felton. Felton throws it out. It is caught on the shoestring. Still on his feet inside the 15 to the 12-yard line is the receiver for Champlin Park. And that's Landon Olsen-Gray with his first catch of the year.
Look at these hands. Some great mitts over here on this reception. As he pulls it in, he's almost got his hands on both tips of the ball and picks up critical piece in yardage. So on the move.
Gain of 11, first down and 10, Champlin Park. Down by 7 with the ball and driving, coming up on 4 to go. This is going to be Nelson up the gut. Good surge inside the 10, near the 8-yard line.
Looks like an amoeba in the pile, just continuing to kind of move and change forms. Just powers ahead for that pickup of 4.
It'll be second down. Champlin Park, a good field goal kicker in Trace Fitzgerald. He has plenty of leg, but the Rebels want to get a touchdown in the books. Nelson.
See if they come back to Ackness here.
Felton, the quarterback. Axness, touchdown catch. And they're going to give it Nelson on his feet into the end zone. Touchdown! He goes in almost untouched. And the Rebels pull to within 1.
If that's what you call a beautiful scheme, as they set up everything going left and right, but they got such a beautiful seam that they had everything sealed off. Look at this run. Was not touched. Unbelievable run and great blocking. Good call for the offensive coordinator there as well.
Fitzgerald for the extra point to tie. 3:28 to go. Second quarter. Andover's gamble backfires. Snap, spot, kick is good. And once again, some raised eyebrows. Andover goes for it deep in their own territory. Mapson is stopped for a loss. And Champlin Park on a short field goes 29 yards, gets a touchdown, an extra point, and we're knotted at 14.
Well, that's where you start to wonder, hey, is that 4-7 up front for the Rebels starting to wear down that offensive line? Because in that short, 4th and short, he didn't even get close to the back of the line of scrimmage. In fact, he lost, I think, a yard or two, did Mapson, as he was engulfed on that tackle by Leon Hart, as he beat 2 players. But that's a strong core, just a well-executing defensive line, and those 7 as a whole, the linebackers as well. And they kind of move between the 4-3, a 4-4, and a 3-4, which you got to mess up the blocking schemes as well. Huskies, I think they wanted this ball back and just to get themselves mentally, get a good drive put together and see if they can reclaim the lead before the end of this first half.
4 plays, 29 yards, 156. Nelson, the second touchdown run of the year. He had one a week ago, the backbreaker that sealed the deal. And now his touchdown here from 9 yards out, Fitzgerald to kick. And it is a high end over end. It'll be taken at the 13-yard line. And that's going to be covered well by the Champlin Park Rebels. Decent return.
Wanted to see if we were flag free on that play. And in fact, we were.
And so Andover gets it back, and now we'll see what Mapson and company can do. They were up 14-0, and the Rebels have come right back.
Yep, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. And let's see how they line up here defensively for the Rebels. How many guys have their hand in the grass here? It's like they'll start with a 4. 4 defensive linemen, 2 defensive tackles, and 2 ends.
Mapson sends 2 to each side. He's going to roll out. Setting up to throw. Lobs near sideline, a mile out of bounds, second down and 10. Nobody there. Good coverage downfield by the Rebels.
Yeah, they had limited amount of receivers out on that play. Coming that backside was Chenoweth, but Mapson had no interest in looking that far back. And they just sent a couple of players out on that pattern here. Look for the run, maybe try to get a little momentum shift here.
Colin Graving to running back. Sits and standing to the right of the quarterback Mapson. Graving, not much. Maybe a yard or 2 to the 25-yard line. And he was hit hard.
Was, and the players slow to get up, a couple of them. One, the defensive lineman who lost his helmet.
Kamara, he's going to have to go off the field. That was a big hit. 3rd down and 8.
Again, they come in, that defensive line, that time 4 down, all at 2:45, one at 2:20.
Mapson and the Huskies need a play. Mapson straight back, waiting, has time, airs it out down the field, overshoots the intended receiver. No flags on the play. He was trying to hit Weigert and overshot him. Now 4th down, and I would assume Tom DeVellis is going to punt here.
I do like how he spins the ball. Mapson, that's a nice throw downfield. But who I did watch on that play defensively was a linebacker 0, and that's Will Ogunti. I had a chance to speak with him just as the season started. But he's such a flex player, an unbelievable size as well, at about 210, 6'3". He'll play linebacker, defensive end. That time he was really trying to look and maybe shadow Mapson a bit as he attacked the play and kind of had his eyes on him.
Mapson is a punter, so be aware of the fake, and I'm sure the Rebels know all about that. He will kick it away, and it's going to be bobbled. It was bobbled, and did Andover get it? It is going to be very close. He came up, and that was a mistake. Tried to make the shoestring catch, and somehow the Rebels came up with it. Huge break for Champlin Park. Mario Robinson fell on it, but Robinson bobbled it and somehow got it back.
Yeah, though that's one that's just adrenaline thinking, but that's almost impossible to come down and not fumble that ball, as it's coming from a punt. It's got the spin near the turf. They're fortunate to get that back. That could have easily shifted the momentum back to Andover before the end of this first half. But now here come the Rebels at the 47-yard line.
Miles Felton, a touchdown throwing. Nelson, a touchdown on the ground, not much. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Andover Huskies. They had that well defended. Peyton Verheyen was there among others. 2nd down, 10 yards to go.
Yep, they've got that particular play pretty well covered. And let's see if they counter and go to the open side of the field here and use that as their strong side, as it looks like they will right now, the Rebels, on 2nd down.
Slot back right, ball on the near hash. Felton, the quarterback, Nelson to his left. He's going to play action, throw it, man wide open. Axness again rumbles down to the 31-yard line, and Andover better find him.
Huge play. Wow. And he has had 2 big gainers. His first one was 21 yards. Second one was a touchdown, John. I think that was close to 35, I believe.
That one's 22.
And this one was 22. They're finding him at the right spot in the right seam.
Yeah, and he is just wide open. Felton straight back, blitzes on, sets up the screen. Nelson can't hang on. They had blockers, but that throw was just out of his reach. He bobbled it. That could have been a pick almost for Andover.
Yeah. They had the blocking scheme set up on that screen. You could see even the tight end, Axman that time, just kind of walk off that line. As you could tell, they were setting it up on the opposite side. But they'll be coming back to that a couple of more times here this evening. But now with 1:32 left and 2nd and 10 for the Rebels. They're going to see if they can find that seam with Axness and the tight end maybe one more time here before half.
Huge crowd on hand. Tackle Cancer Knight, Andover's home opener. Felton rolling out, tries to get to the edge, throws on the run, got decked, throws it way out of bounds. He took a huge shot as he tried to get to the edge, and he was exposed, and that's a dangerous throw.
So dangerous. I mean, he's throwing against his body right here, throwing across and just lit up. And that could have been a much harder hit, but it was a legal hit. A good play by the Huskies there. Put the shoulder pads right into the numbers as he's thrown across his body.
I'm going to need my ribs taped after that. 1:15 to go It is 3rd down and 10. Rebels at the Andover 31-yard line. They have scored on their last 2 possessions. Time running out, quarter number 2. We got movement all over. And this will be a 5-yarder. We haven't seen that in a while on the Rebels.
I was going to say, there comes the villain out for the Rebels. The penalty flag. Might be just their first penalty offensively in the last 3 series.
14 all, 1:15 to go. Here in quarter number 2. Andover led it 14-0 early in this quarter. Rebels have scored the last 2. Now they're in a hole. 3rd down and 15 back at the 36-yard line.
Wanted to reset that play clock.
All right, we're good to go. And now we're ready. First game. And they're going to, on the delay, find Nelson. Flags fly. It's coming back. Forget about it. They ran a little delay. They flowed right, went left, but it is certainly coming back. This should be a hold all the way.
Waiting for the guards to pull, and then a bad exchange.
Yeah. 2 penalties in a row on the Rebels.
Replay 3rd down.
Wow. Both teams have 2 timeouts. Nelson had the first down and more, but you saw the hold there.
It was against Schornstein.
And from the spot of the foul, it takes it back to the 42-yard line. And it's 3rd down and a little over a mile.
A little inside
a little
reverse.
counter. How about
I like that.
Not quite the Elk River Elks, but the ball carrier there was Oligmuller, who typically is a wideout. Oligmuller took the handoff from Nelson, who took the handoff from the quarterback, Felton. They get a little back to the 39-yard line.
I think they're going to probably see if they can just run this down, call the timeout, and then punt it and leave so little time here for the Huskies to do anything with it here before the end of the half.
Yeah, they certainly don't want the ball in Mapson's hands.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all. And didn't know if they had maybe one more shot at maybe a Hail Mary.
So they do get the timeout. The clock on the scoreboard is down to 0, but they're going to have to put some seconds on it. And really, Andover wants an opportunity to make a play, Joe.
Yeah.
Whether it's block, a kick, or...
I would like to see maybe just throw this up in the end zone. Just give yourself a chance. As marked at about the 39. You've got the big bruiser tight end and Axis. Maybe elevate and go up. As long as you're this close. Get the protection and get the ball deep.
It has been an entertaining football game for sure. Certainly mistakes on both sides, but we've certainly seen some big plays as well. And now the Rebels have once again the quarterback Felton. He did the quick kick earlier in quarter number 1, and it was effective. 3 seconds to go. They'll drop back. 4th down and long. It's going to air it out, far sideline, and out of bounds. That's it. End of the first half. Andover 14, Champlin Park 14. We're going to take a break and come back with our halftime show. And then, of course, quarters 3 and 4 don't go away. Week 2, it's a good one. The Rebels and the Huskies here from Andover tonight on QCTV.
Hi there, I'm Cameron Cattone, City of Andover Natural Resources Technician. I'm here to talk about the Nature Preserve Commission, formerly known as the Open Space Advisory Commission, which is an advisory board to the City Council. This group is primarily tasked with management and maintenance decisions of the 4 nature preserves in the City of Andover. This group was originally formed in 2006 to help decide what properties to purchase after the approved $2 million bond referendum that same year. After that referendum went through, the group helped to decide on 4 preserves that were purchased. The group is also tasked with looking at potential funding options for potentially buying new land in the city. The group generally meets quarterly on the 2nd Wednesday of the month at around 6 p.m. So beginning in November, December, we will be looking for new members to the group. There will be information in the November, December edition of the city newsletter, which will outline the application process and instructions for if you are interested in applying. So if you are interested in the outdoors, interested in being a part of the community and working along with the city of Andover, and also would like to meet new people, this might be a great opportunity for you.
We get some.
I am Jen Stump, and we are at Andover at the Lions Park off of Bunker and Hanson. So this event, it's the first annual, so we're going to give it a try, and it's just an ice cream social. So for anybody in the community, come on out and get free ice cream. So the Andover Lions, we are a volunteer nonprofit organization, and so within Andover, we get together monthly, and we do service projects throughout the year. We raise money for donations for the community. Anything in Andover we try to do to help. We've been Andover Lions for many, many years, and we're just really trying to give back and to get our name out there and to get the club out there. We've had a lot of people that have come up and said, oh yeah, we know who you are, we've seen you here and there. So now we're trying to put that into reality and just get out here, and this is why we started to do this for the first annual, just to try to get out and have the community come on around. This is our first time doing the ice cream social. We do other things. We serve beer at the Andover Fun Fest. Oh yes. We used to do it, now we're going to do it again, Harvest Fest at the YMCA in the fall for trick-or-treating and whatnot, and they have different activities. But yeah, we bake groceries.
Brothers, Layla Dietz, and Jackson Boos. Is your band ready? The field is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 Andover Huskies Marching Band. Let's hear it for the Marching Band.
Tonight we're here at the Anoka County Sheriff's Office, and
We get some time here today to speak with 8th-year head coach Nick Keenan here with Champlin Park Rebels. Running back Preston Nelson, Will Ogunti, defensive lineman Ashton Tucker, offensive lineman.
I'm already missing it. Like, I can't wait.
Yeah, we had some adversity at the beginning of the year. We were missing some players.
Tilke's going to roll to the right. He's going to throw to the end zone. Knocked away. It's knocked away. And that was Matson. And Blaine will hang out.
Last year definitely was a really good learning year.
Our defense is working hard as a whole. We have all had like a we want to win type of mindset.
How does preparing for that opening of football and that whole football season go for you during that time?
Brand new weight room, great scoreboard, donated by our Traveling Baseball Association. So that's one of the biggest things that have changed. But you know, some of the kids are the same, some of the struggles are the same.
Switched a few things up from 2 years ago, last year. You know, it might be a little bit tough getting some new guys to understand, but we've been rolling pretty well so far.
A junior this season, but a starter last year, and had some great experience last year with the squad, and especially in the postseason. What did you take away from that experience?
You have to be like patient when playing with different people, because I didn't know anybody that was on that team because I had just gotten moved up. And playing with different people go different tempos, different speeds. You have to be coachable, and you have to be able to listen to your seniors and stuff. 2025 season and the 2025 Champlin Park Rebels team. What are 2 or 3 words you would choose at this point before the season gets underway to describe this team?
Okay, inexperienced is one.
Smaller senior class, but the ones that are out here, they're leading us for sure. And then us juniors, I think as we get more comfortable, some that came from sophomore and maybe some JV, they're getting more comfortable to lead us as well.
Hardworking is 2.
As a defensive lineman, I'm faster than most defensive linemen, so it's very easy to get by, and I also have strength. So when I combine the 2, it's pretty good.
3, more than one word, but you know, some of our best off-season training in a long time.
You know, as a team, I think that we've been playing a lot harder than last year compared to where we are right now. We just had a scrimmage and we looked pretty good. I think we ran really hard, so I think that's the big difference from last year was where we're at now.
Ready, now go.
I think that, you know, I know that we don't have the highest expectations, but I think that we're going to prove a lot of people wrong. I think that we have a very aggressive team right now.
We're only returning 3 starters, so a lot of positions to fill, a lot of competition. So maybe the word is competition.
I think we're gonna be solid. It's a new team. Like for me, all the seniors kind of left, so I wasn't like worried, but I was anxious to see what we'd be like, and we held our own. We did good. I'm really excited. As long as we all work together, I think we'll be fine.
Our offensive linemen have really worked hard in the off-season, and so have our defensive lines. We touched on it earlier, but I think those guys have a really good opportunity if they can keep working technically on their steps, doing what Coach Corton asked them on the offensive line and what Coach Oakley and I asked them on the defensive line.
You're not getting any type of a rip or any type of a move with your arms. You're not throwing it. You're just coming straight off, and then you can just do this. You've got to bring it through there. You know what I mean? And that's what they're trying to tell you. They know it. They got it. Here we go, guys.
When you watch film, you see the offensive line's tendencies. Like sometimes they might lean forward on a run or take like a step back, or their right foot is usually back on like a pass play. And little things like that can really lead to like big plays.
I think last year, just kind of first time being on varsity, really playing, kind of a little bit of not unsure what I can do, but now, you know, playing a full season, I know what I can do.
Told the kids from day one, every season that we've been successful, we've had a good offensive line and a good defensive line. So really it starts up front. We put a lot of time into those kids, and we're excited what some of these young kids have to offer.
I am Jen Stump, and we are at Andover at the Lions Park off of Bunker and Hanson. So this event, it's the first annual, so we're going to give it a try, and it's just an ice cream social. So for anybody in the community, come on out and get free ice cream. So the Andover Lions, we are a volunteer nonprofit organization. And so within Andover, we get together monthly and we do service projects throughout the year. We raise money for donations for the community. Anything in Andover we try to do to help. We've been Andover Lions for many, many years, and we're just really trying to give back and to get our name out there and to get the club out there. We've had a lot of people that have come up and said, oh yeah, we know who you are, we've seen you here and there. So now we're trying to put that into reality and just get out here, and this is why we started to do this for the first annual, just to try to get out and have the community come on around. This is our first time doing the ice cream social. We do other things. We serve beer at the Andover Fun Fest. Oh yes. We used to do it, now we're going to do it again, Harvest Fest at the YMCA in the fall for trick-or-treating and whatnot, and they have different activities. But yeah, we bake groceries, we get together, we volunteer at Hope for Youth, so we just try to get out there, and we're open to new ideas. There's multiple ways to support the Andover Club. You can donate always. You can come to events. We have meetings once a month. If you want to come to a meeting, we meet the second Wednesday of every month, and it is at the Andover Community Center at 6 p.m.
So here in Andover, we have what we call our Adopt a Park program. We have over 70 parks and open spaces that we maintain. So any help we can get from the public, we greatly appreciate. So currently we do have a handful of parks available for adoption. The way the program works is you reach out to our Public Works Administrative Assistant, Danielle, and she can set you up on it's a 2-year commitment that you clean the park twice a year. We supply the garbage bags and everything, and then we'll come pick them up after your event. And it's a 2-year commitment. You get a sign at the park recognizing, whether it's your family, some local businesses do it as a way of just giving back to the community. So any help with the Adopt a Park program is always greatly appreciated in helping keep the Andover parks clean. So we ask a minimum of twice a year, a spring and fall cleanup. You're welcome to do it as many times a year as possible. Obviously, the more often you do it, the less trash there is to pick up. So, but twice a year is the commitment that we ask for people when they sign the contract. So, with all the parks, a lot of them are neighborhoods, and a lot of families just kind of adopt them as like their own park. So, they're in their backyard. They help keep them clean, and it's always appreciated from our staff and myself and everyone here at the city. People enjoy it. People take ownership in it. Like I said, they start calling it their park. So people seem to enjoy the program, and we've really had great success with it. And currently we have most of our parks are adopted, but we do have a handful. If anyone's interested, they can reach out to go to our City Andover website, into the Parks Department, and look for our Danielle Lensmeyer. She's the one who manages that program, and she can get you set up.
And we are back. Husky Stadium here in Andover. Week number 2. Both teams 1-0 at Champlin Park. And Andover, the Huskies built a 14-0 lead early in quarter number 2. And the Rebels storm back. Here's a look at some of the action, Joe.
Mapson with his second touchdown run of the game. And the Huskies spotted, or at least the Rebels spotted Andover 14. Then a great connection here, taking it to the house. The Axeman. That's right. Axness himself, first touchdown of the season, a good run, and this one looked like he was going down Highway 10. on the run there by Nelson for 9 yards out. That tied it up at 14-14. Kind of that key play was they went for it, the Huskies, on that fourth and about a yard, and they ended up getting blown up even before that made it back to the line of scrimmage. Some great execution, and you're starting to see right now if Champlin Park can manage those self-inflicted wounds called the penalty flag and stay with their defensive strategy. Those front seven appear to be starting to wear down the Huskies' offensive line, not quite the size of that of the defensive seven for the Rebels.
Yeah, and you've got to wonder if either team is going to change their strategy and try and run the football a little bit more and shorten the game. We'll see about that, but both teams have shown pretty good balance in this game. Mapson's thrown it around a little bit. Gravings run the ball effectively, and then of course we've seen Felton throw it around, and Nelson, and boy, I tell you what, Isaac Axness in the first 2 weeks has proven to be a big weapon for the Rebels in this offense. A touchdown a week ago against St. Michael Albertville, and the touchdown catch here. He has turned out to be a big deal for this Rebels offense.
Yeah, sometimes as a quarterback, you got to kind of get reps to kind of see that evolve and see that play kind of emerge and have some patience, and that's what you're seeing there from Felton. A little extra second and good protection, and they're finding Axness in the seams for some big gainers. 3 receptions for him again in that first half, and 1 he took to the house.
Cade Raisler to kick it off, Andover in black. The Rebels in white, he puts it on the ground. Short kick on the ground, grabbed at the 21-yard line. Little running room for the Rebels over the 35, all the way out to the 41-yard line as the Rebels return it effectively right up the middle of the field, and that was Eric Lukes again. So the Rebels are going to have outstanding field position.
Well, he can just change direction on a hiccup. Watch this, stops, boom, on a dime. Cuts back, goes the other way, breaks the tackle, an arm tackle, and gets it down to the 41. An excellent return on the squib kick. And here come the Rebels with their first possession of the second half, and a chance to take their first lead if they can execute on this possession.
Quarterback Miles Felton, Preston Nelson is the running back. He'll get the handoff up the middle, still on his feet to midfield. A quick gain of 9 as he just kind of squirts through there in traffic. It doesn't go down easily. It'll be second down and 1, and no options for the Rebels.
I mean, that's picture perfect in terms of running style. He stays low to the ground. You barely see his head up. Keeps the legs moving constantly. He's got great balance, and it takes a host of Huskies to bring him down.
And up again, Nelson biding his time. Didn't get much, but enough for a first down. He needed the 49. He staggers to the 47. It'll be a gain of 3, and the Rebels move the chains, and so far, so good on the ground.
He's strong as well. Don't underestimate that size. 6 foot. He's 6 foot, 195 as that running back, so he can bounce and break tackles along with get to the outside.
Slot back right, wide receivers left and right. Miles Felton, junior quarterback. Preston Nelson, junior running back. Play action block. Blocked at the line of scrimmage. Well, they tried to swing it out, and they wanted to get it to Axness, but that Andover defense made a big play. They got their arms up.
Love it right here. This is a huge save. I mean, you get that block. Axman had the seam in front of him again, had that been able to get by the defenders. An excellent play by the defensive line for Andover. That saved a big gainer.
Second down and 10. Ball at the 47-yard line. Felton 5 yards behind the center, runs option left side, staggers near the 45, and then he's finally smothered under. Someone had him by the ankle and wouldn't let go.
Had some persistence on that effort. Continued to try to break that tackle. Had Nelson waiting there in case he wanted to pitch it to him at the last minute. Good idea not to.
Yeah, Gage Roeder was in the middle of that. Good job by the defense. Peyton Verhan, a linebacker. And it was a short gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 46-yard line.
Maybe a screen. What do you think?
10 to go in the 3rd. Felton straight back. Going to run out to the left. Cut it back. Stay on his feet, but it's going to be stopped well short of the 1st down. Near the 42-yard line, maybe the 41 where he was tripped up. He needed to get to the 37, now 4th down. Now what do the Rebels do here?
Oh, they're going for it because you know what? That extra effort just pulled them within 3 yards. Look for slants. He hasn't thrown many of those today. But of course, Nelson himself has just been difficult to stop. They've been executing the blocking in between the A-gaps.
4th and 4, 41-yard line. Felton with Nelson to his right, slot back left.
Huskies almost loading that defensive box. Now he steps back.
And he'll quick kick out of there. And it's going to bounce for the Rebels inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. Picked up by Fitzgerald.
I think that was partially blocked. Well, someone got a piece of it because you saw it flutter. And gosh, I really thought they would go for it, but they don't want to exchange the momentum. Here it is. Look at this. Someone got a piece of that thing. Nonetheless, good effort. They decided to go with that quick punt. They didn't get what they wanted to see. I think defensively they were loading the box where the Huskies and maybe the Rebels were thinking, hey, if they think it's punt, they'll move it back.
1st down and 10, Andover, the quarterback, Joseph Mapson. 2 touchdown runs in the 1st half. That gives him 7 on the year already. Mapson kicks it out. This is a running back, Graving. Graving got his feet. He gets wrapped up at the 33, and they're going to call him knee down at the 33-yard line. But that was just a little toss sweep right side.
Well, and Graving has some really excellent burst speed. You can see he runs hill. It takes some very little effort to hit that next gear.
Gain is 16 on the play. Momentum early. Mapson waits for the snap. He'll hand it off. Graving cut back 40. Knocked down at the 43-yard line. Tackled from behind on the play there by Leo Chroma.
Look at the seam. Look at the open hole. Look at him switch hands. That's always, you can tell I'm old school on it, but he switches hands from his left to his right to get away from the contact, and a 1st down.
Mapson hands it off again, and Graving over the 45 to the 47-yard line. So they're running it right up the gut and effectively near midfield.
Yeah, at first glance, I got a chance to see Graving. Last year was against in that Elk River section championship. He's an excellent north-south runner.
8:15 to go in the 3rd. Clock on the move. 2nd down and 6. Andover waiting for a play. Tom DeVellis on the near sideline.
Numbers on that far side if they want to run a bubble.
Trips out to the left. They'll throw it out there. It is caught out there by Weigert. Weigert a 1st down and more over the Rebels 45 to the 44-yard line.
Well, thanks to the running and of Graving, that created a play out on that far side, a little bubble screen where they couldn't get enough numbers over there because they were concerned about the run and had to keep a high number to the Rebels in that box defensively.
Gain of 9, 1st down and 10. Mapson calls his own number, tries to get to the edge, has the 40, steps out of bounds there. They might give him the 39, and a neat gain of 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5.
He runs, he's so smooth. The contours in, then cuts back out. It's like he's on a Sunday cruise, but he's moving a lot faster than it looks.
Andover right up to the line of scrimmage. Tie ball game at 14, 7:39 to go in the 3rd. He'll sling it out to the left. Caught there by Weigert. Tackled almost immediately.
I thought that was intercepted, but no, it may have hit the ground.
Yeah, incomplete actually. Intended receiver was Fields. It was bobbled and could have been picked off.
He had it initially.
Wow.
Yeah, right out through his hands, off his shoulder pad. That's a long throw. Takes a while to get there out to the wide receiver.
Landon Olsen-Gray almost with the pick. 7:34 to go. Clock stop. 3rd down and 5. Andover. Mapson He's going to toss it out. Graving along the sideline and shoves his way to the 35. Is that enough for a first down? It's very close.
And that time you saw him, Graving, he created the contact here. Look at his burst at the last minute. Instead of waiting, he put his head down and drove in and knocked the defender, a pretty big fella that he knocked to the turf.
But they're only going to give him 4 on the play. And it's going to be 4th down and 1, 7:28 to go in the third.
There's no way they're going to punt this. They are going to go for it here.
And the quarterback, Mapson. Mapson tucks it under his arm, 35, has the first down and more as he steps out of bounds. That was a quarterback keeper flag late.
One came launching in from behind the safeties. Number 9 for Andover. Caught up in a little pushing match that went out of bounds and continued to bet.
Chris Nikwacha for Champlin Park pointed the Andover way. This could be on the Huskies. We'll see. Personal foul.
Starts in the end of the run. Still be first down.
Wow. So that dead ball penalty. They give Mapson the first down. Let's see if we can see it right at the end of the run. Yeah, right there.
They just continued to push and guide him out. Number 9 there for Andover.
It'll take the ball all the way out to midfield. Or near midfield, back to the 46-yard line.
Austin Johnson, the player there. But, yeah, thanks heavens that they gave them the first down. Or did they? Yes, they did.
Yeah, it's first down, then dead ball. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. So penalty came at the 31 on the dead ball. So here we are, 1st and 10. And Mapson takes a snap. That's close to a lateral and goes out of bounds. They should mark it back in Andover territory. We'll see about this. This could be back, and they will mark it back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 5, maybe 6 on the play. Dangerous throw.
Yeah, and defensively, they almost read that and wanted to go on a pick 6. Did the Rebels. Close to getting that was number 19 there for the Rebels, unable to hit it, but they start picking up on some of the tendencies here now for Andover.
Mapson rolling right on 2nd down, a pitch and catch down at the 39-yard line. That was Michael Fields with the grab, so they get a chunk back.
Great throw that time by Mapson. He had a defender near him, and he threw it low to his far shoulder. So only he could get that ball if he was going to catch it at all. Now,
3rd down and 3. By the way, a gain of 13 on that play. And now it's Mapson running option right side. Graving cuts it back, 35, 30, bangs his way at the 25, 20, still on his feet, wrestled down at the 15-yard line. What a powerful run by Colin Graving.
I mean, you got to look at it. He's not that big, but he can absorb a pop. He's leaning, running head down, but he's got great balance. See the balance? It's like bumper cars, and he continues to stay upright. And that just, to me, connects as a good balance on another good run up the middle.
Graving at the 10, down to maybe the 8 or the 7-yard line. Good head of steam. And Andover right back to the line of scrimmage.
Feed him the ball again.
Graving stacked up and driven back.
I think he was close to that first down.
Yeah, he only needed about a yard, and I think his forward progress got him from the 7 to the 6.
So an impressive drive
They're going to call it 3rd down and 1.
One of these set with the trips split to the left for Andover.
Ball it to 6.5. They need the 5.5. Mapson going to run right side, tuck it under his arm, fight his way inside the 3 to the 2, and driven back. Mapson trying for his 3rd touchdown of the game, but that'll be a 1st and goal.
Yeah, that time, you know what? It's good. But Gravik had been running so well, that extra size coming there by Joseph paid off for Mapson and the Huskies.
13th play of the drive. Mapson right side. He'll get to the pylon. Touchdown.
Penalty flag down.
Flag on the play. Another penalty. 5:15 to go in the 3rd.
Well, we may have a holding penalty.
Oh, wow.
As they have the discussion. And now here's the call.
Holding on the offense, number 9. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 1st down.
That is a tough penalty. 2nd of the drive on Andover. This drive started at the 17-yard line. And let's see if they can overcome this.
Unfortunately for Austin Johnson, he's the one flagged for the hold. He was also the one that picked up the personal foul earlier on this drive. So, reset here.
It is 1st down and goal at the 12. Mapson with Graving. Mapson straight back to the far corner of the end zone. Incomplete.
What a defensive play. Coming back to break it up. Was that Robinson? I believe it was.
Weigert, the intended receiver.
That was Lukes. Eric Lukes. He came back. I thought that pass. I thought he was going to drop it in his shirt pocket, and Lukes came back to break it up.
Wow.
He peeled off of his own guy he had man on man. Great play, great football. Enjoying this Friday Night Lights.
Trips to the left. And the quarterback has it. And he didn't fool anybody. That was Mapson. He faked the handoff to Graving, tried to get off the left side. And no gain on the play. Now 3rd and goal from the 12-yard line.
Yeah, keep in mind it was a field goal by Andover in the first game against Wayzata, 31 yards, but they're going to go for this.
3rd and goal from the 12, rolling out, throwing to the end zone, out of bounds, broken up over there. Pretty good throw by the quarterback, Mapson, but even better coverage by Champlin Park and Mario Robinson. 4th and goal.
High quality cornerback play here. That was a BB.
And a huge play in this game. And if you go back a week ago, a game you saw on QCTV, the Rebels made stand after stand after stand to protect that 14-12 lead in the 3rd into the 4th. Then they get the long touchdown run by Nelson in the point after and go on to win the game 21-12. But man, I'll tell you what, this Rebels defense on this drive that started at the Andover 17, they bent. But so far they haven't broken.
No, they have not, and Reisler's on to attempt the field goal. That previous play where he threw it, for some reason I had it stuck in my brain that was 4th down. And they decided to pass on the field goal. There was Reisler who hit the 31-yard field goal against Wayzata after the Huskies on the opening kickoff created the foul or the fumble, recovered. And that's how their first points of this 2025 season were scored for Andover as they set up here for probably about a 29-yard attempt.
Yeah, the quarterback, Mapson, will kneel down at the 19-yard line. Caden Reisler trying the 29-yarder, smack dab middle of the field. Snap, spot, kick, plenty of leg. right down the middle. It's good, and Andover grabs the lead 17-14 with 4:29 to go in the third.
Hey, can't forget about the snap, the spot, all of that. Perfect, excellent precision that can affect the rhythm of the kicker as he approaches the ball, but that time all of it perfection. And Raisler picks up his second field goal of the season, this one from 29, and now the Huskies, who are outscored 14-0 by the Rebels to tie it up, now have that 3-point lead at 17-14.
So that drive goes 83 yards in 4:33. And it was a ton of plays. And there were three penalties there along the way.
So
14 plays.
So these teams last played in 2016. And up to then, they had played a total of 4 times. They're tied 2 apiece. 2 wins apiece for the Rebels and the Huskies. And tonight they get a chance to break that even tie right now. This is the lead going away here for the Huskies, now by 3. But again, since the Huskies dropped down to 5A, they only had played Rebels 4 times. Previous to that, the last matchup came back in 2016, almost 9 years ago. So, who's going to get the lead on this rivalry after tonight's game?
Raisler, a short kick grabbed by the Rebels at the 24-yard line. And they'll move it forward to the 26. That was a lot of pushing and shoving for a couple of yards. Quia on the return. Short kick. And now the Rebels are going to get it with 4:21 to go in the third, down by 3. And we have a player down on the field.
Offensive coordinator there, and along with the head coach, Tom DeVellis, giving some updates that they debriefed that last drive they had. Could this be a cramp? Probably so on number 22 for the Huskies. That looks to be Peyton Verheyen. Quick look at some players to watch here throughout this matchup. Mapson, one of those. And here's the Kyrgyz play to Weigert. He connected with Weigert on several times in that first half. And there's another. Finally, Mapson says, I'm just going to take this in, tuck it across the line. Touchdown from Mapson. That's his first touchdown run of the game. Here's the second. And that, at that point, gave the Huskies a 14-0 lead. But it was the Rebels who stormed back. The key play in that first half was when the Huskies tried to go for it on 4th and 1. They could not. They missed it, and then the Rebels scored, and then managed to tie it up just before half.
Here's the quarterback, Felton, trying the right side with room. Still on his feet, fighting his way to the 40. Still on his feet, scrum ensues over the 45 to near the 46-yard line. He would not be denied.
That was starting to look like that midnight train to Georgia as they were forming the tracks and dragging everybody with. Moving it on down, kept those feet moving. The big size at 6'4", 210 pounds, Felton took the majority of that Huskies team to bring him down. Excellent job, and I say he got that initial gap and some great blocking up front.
Gain of 19, first down and 10. Miles Felton. Play action, throws over Axness. Isaac Axness, just a little too high. He was wide open again.
He had pretty much like 6'10", wide open all the way down the seam. If he could have held on to that ball or just brought it back down, he was going to take that one to the house. That was the same thing. They've run that now 4 times. The last 2 times, one time it was deflected up front by the defensive line, and this time just a miscue on the throw.
Miles Felton, the quarterback. Preston Nelson, the running back. They'll run the option near side. Nelson, not much. Good react, and then we got a flag after it as Felton Got hit after the pitch.
Yeah, that might be a roughing the passer.
Yeah, typically though on an option play you can't get that. There was extracurricular activity after that.
That's what I'm referring to. Yep.
Yep. And that's not good. This could be a big penalty. And we've got another player down for Andover.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense. Number 20. That's 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Wow. That is a huge penalty on Andover again.
Boy, these personal fouls, that one by Brent Erickson, are really starting to mount. And I don't know if you're starting to see cramps come into play here as we look here at the schedules coming your way here on QCTV for both teams. The Rebels, after tonight, they'll play host to the Cougars of Centennial. That'll be on September 12th. Then the following Friday, they're at the Roger Royals. They get a chance to play that 5A team that's now in 6A, the Roger Royals. And then, of course, a battle at Blaine and the Bengals on the 26th of September. Then October 3rd, get a look there at that final matchup. Now, for the Huskies, they'll play host. They'll be back here with Coon Rapids on the 12th, followed by Centennial on the 9th, Anoka on the 12th, and the Rogers Royals on the 3rd. Some of those dates I'm going to guess we need to change, but there we go. Back to the line. Ready are the Rebels.
First down and 10 after a big penalty on Andover. And it's Nelson, slides off the right side inside the 35 to the 34-yard line, closing in on 3 minutes to go in the quarter. The Rebels down by 3. It was 7-0 Andover after one, tied at 14 at the half. Andover with that 29-yard field goal has the lone scorer here in the third.
That looked like an almost identical play that he scored his touchdown and that 9-yard run. Good look, good seam here.
Gain of 4 on the play, second down and 6. Nelson again. Bounces to the outside, 25, 20, 15, 10 along the sideline. Touchdown, Rebels.
What outstanding cut. The blocking up front as well, as they set up a bag almost in like a magnum formation. As you can see just behind number 7, sealed off a block. Missed a couple of tackles, punches it outside, and then, boom, he hits that switch, takes it to another gear.
34 yards for Nelson.
Geez.
And the Rebels lead at 20-17. Fitzgerald on for the extra point. Snap, spot, kick, up, and good. And the Rebels grab a 21-17 lead. That drive goes 73 yards, capped on a terrific 34-yard touchdown run by Preston Nelson.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that penalty that time did come back to haunt the Huskies. The unnecessary roughness. And as a result, they get great position, and it took them just 2 plays to score after that penalty. That sometimes is an indication, are they tired? You had seen a couple of the Husky players working their cramps out, but that sometimes is that sign of exhaustion setting in when after that penalty was called 2 plays later. It is Nelson taking it to the house for the second time tonight. Gotta love this game. This is just an exciting, this is what you enjoy seeing about high school football, just back and forth. And just the competitiveness right now as the Rebels are up by 4. With 2.5 to play in this third quarter. I think this game is far from being done, Steve. It's like a heavyweight match. They're both exchanging punches and still standing.
Miles Felton, Preston Nelson, quarterback, running back for Champlin Park. Mapson, Graving for Andover. Big plays galore here tonight. Andover from their own 10, right up the middle of the field, covered well by the Rebels. Andover will have it 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Good setup here. Huskies getting their instructions on the sideline and ready for what is just going to be their second possession of the second half. That first possession ate up some time, and finally able to get a field goal when it was all said and done and get the lead back and reclaim it by 3.
Special teams play has been pretty good as well, Joe.
It really has. Great to see this early in the season. Pass over the top. Mapson cannot connect us. He kind of floated that one just beyond the reach of the Huskies receiver.
Second down and 10, and Mapson a week ago, week 21 carries, 216 yards, 5 touchdowns. He has 2 touchdown runs here tonight. Passing game a week ago, 8 of 17, 83 yards, still had a touchdown pass. And now it's second down and 10. Mapson straight back. He's going to throw it off to the left. It's caught on a little slant, and that's over the 30-yard line to maybe the 33-yard line. It'll set up third and short.
Yeah, that almost evolves into kind of like a middle screen by the way that blocking is set up. And the more he cuts down that middle, the more opportunities for some space and to extend the play, which they did there. 3rd and 1 now for Andover.
Yeah, gain of 9 on the play. Mapson's going to toss it out. Graving trying to get to the corner. Gets the first down, still on his feet. Wrestled down at the 38-yard line. He got hit near the first down marker, but used his strength to get it out to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, all he needed to do on that, he got hit probably at the first down marker. And he just needed to explode for maybe an extra yard. It's easy for me to say upon contact. Down now as a Rebels player as he's being tended to. And you got to look. Good crowd packed here tonight at Andover High School. In fact, overflow just even on the side. Look at Dan's fan cab. I love it. Look at Dan busting out that cam on a great night for Friday Night Lights. Thanks, Dan, for that shot. Good look. And I'll tell you, there's no other, you can't find a spot on the Andover bleacher side. It was, I think, want to say it seats about 1,800. Speaking with the athletic director, Eric Latola, prior to the game. And this fills up for each of the games and overflow on both sides. A lot of people standing on the other side if they're not in the bleachers, on which Champlin Park fans are located. So, player walked off under his own power, and the Huskies have a first down.
First down and 10, 39-yard line. Mapson, the quarterback. He'll hand it off. Graving shoves his way to the 45-yard line before he's stacked up by a whole host of Rebels wearing white. Clock on the move, 1:35 to go. And they'll take 6 yards on first down every time. They're going to actually give him 7 out to the 44-yard line. Good run there.
Boy, Gravik is just such a strong runner. For someone who's not that big, he runs with conviction.
They're going to throw it out to the left, and that short Hopsy intended receiver, Aiden Weigert.
Last couple of throws out there by Mapson. One over the top of the receiver. That one just short. That time, technique-wise, he kind of opened up that shoulder and quickly got rid of it and couldn't generate the momentum he would from his usual throwing technique here.
3rd down and 3. Mapson looks to the sideline, gets a snap. Slot back Johnson to the right side. Mapson right up the middle, has room, dances his way through over the 45 down to the 41-yard line. Terrific run and a gain of 13 on the play.
Well, he's operating when he makes that cut like he's in a phone booth, and I know I'm just aging myself by saying phone booth, but not much space. They've been really shadowing him, forcing him to pitch and get it.
Here's the quarterback, Mapson. He's still on his feet some way, somehow, inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line. A magical run at 25.
Boy, eluded a lot of tacklers. The arm stuff wouldn't do, right? They bust through that, tries to punch it out. around the legs. He eludes that tackler, and finally, number 44 brings him down. Hucking it down, Leo Croman that time.
And here's the running back, Gravink, up the middle for a couple.
They'll set the chains, and slow to get up that time was Ogunti. Ogunti again, 6'3", 210, plays defensive end, linebacker. He's even occasionally return punts.
And here's the quarterback waiting for the snaps, going to throw it out to the left. It is caught.
That looked incomplete.
Fields is going to take it all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. Champlin Park saying the ball hit the ground.
It did hit the ground.
Andover celebrating, and the officials are going to talk this over. Did it short hop Fields? I thought it did.
We'll get another look. We have the advantage.
It would be the final play of the quarter.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe
We'll
they're going to give
see if he
him
gets his gloves underneath this one or not.
No way.
Did not. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, that is the right call. And they didn't go to the booth. They didn't go under the hood. That is an incomplete pass.
Good camera work. Great to have it. Good, there's guys on the spot.
And that should be the final play of the quarter. There's no time on the clock. All right. That should be the end of the quarter.
This has been I'm just enjoying this thriller. This thriller on a Friday Night Lights.
3 quarters in the books. Champlin Park leading in Andover 21-17. Both teams are 1-0. Who's going to be 2-0? We'll find out. Coming up here on QCTV.
Hi, my name is Rachel Bonesock. I am the co-founder and executive director of Northern Stars Center for the Performing Arts. We are a performing arts center that brings you theater, dance, and music year-round with all ages and all abilities. If you are 4 to 104, we welcome you. We are a big family at Northern Stars, and we love to have everybody in the community support and be a part of what we have available for everyone. We are always looking for volunteers. We run on volunteer support at Northern Stars. So if you're interested in volunteering for anything, any of our events that are upcoming, we do theater, dance, and music. And we have a large event center that we hire artists, professional artists to come in and entertain the community as well as our theater. We would love to have you join us. You can email me at Rachel@NorthernStars with a Z, Rachel@northernstars.org, or you can give us a call at 612-326-6158. Check out our website. We have a lot going on, northernstars.org. Thank you.
Welcome back here to the Andover Athletic Field. Here are the Huskies playing host to the Rebels. A 21-17 thriller. It's been nonstop. Mapson moves around to the outside and thought he had the touchdown, but it was called back. They had to settle for the field goal. That gave the Huskies a 3-point lead. That was their first drive of the second half. And then Cutton, preseason, a little swag, a little sizzle, and Nelson takes this one to the house as the Rebels claim their first lead of the game on that touchdown run from 34 yards out. Here we are back at it now, just underway in this. The third looking to throw Mapson. A bullet inside. Touchdown pass. He threw that with a laser and conviction, and a touchdown pass there is brought down by Weigert. Good hands, good execution. He extended that play just enough to fire that ball right to the mitts of Weigert. Just past the defense. Covered well. Came up and threw a dime for that touchdown pass, his first touchdown pass here tonight, to go along with a couple of touchdown runs for Mapson. And just like that, the Huskies reclaimed the lead on the first play of the fourth quarter. Field goal for the extra point, followed up and put down, and Huskies excited and cap off that drive on the extra point there by Peyton McKnight. What an effort here. The both teams exchanging punches, and now a 3-point lead for Andover, 24-21. As we just started this fourth quarter. Thanks for joining us on this Friday Night Lights sports presentation on QCTV. This game far, far from done. Ready to receive here are the Rebels. And a guy who's been doing an excellent job on those returns has been Eric Lukes. He's back and ready now. As Raisler converted on a 29-yard field goal earlier in this game. Ready to approach the ball. Lofts it, bounces at about the 15. A weird hop. Lukes has it back, has a seam on the near side, breaks it up, spins, gets out. He has some room. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He's at the 30 and taken down on a tackle back there by Raisler. A touchdown saving tackle by Raisler. Wow. Always have that kicker as kind of that last person back, and this time it prevented a touchdown. So he's so good on these returns, so elusive. Moves it away, coming back also to help clean up. Number 6 there for the Huskies. And help out with that tackle. That was Braden Peterson. So now here come the Rebels at the Huskies 30. Snap move to the right. Felton finds a seam. Maybe gets two, and then thwarted by Andover to bring up second down. Game that we kind of expected, and sometimes you expect it and you rarely get it. Tonight, this has been a 5-star performance by both teams. I'm sure the coaches may not agree. Some penalties, but they have been able to overcome most of those penalties and produce it here. Not much time left on the clock here, but the time Felton gets back to the huddle, they'll usher quickly back. With 7 seconds left on the play clock. Snap, back, handoff. Nelson finds a seam, breaks one, spins his way over the first down marker, and takes it to almost the 19. Enough for a first down for the Rebels. Nelson able to kind of bounce off each tackle. Does a great job of breaking those initial tackles or making the Huskies miss. Peterson eventually on that tackle. Back in. Now here comes Felton. Miles Felton, a junior. 6'4", 205. Receiver split to the left. A little bunch to the right. It's a handoff to Nelson. He'll cut back and he'll lose. Good defensive play. Standing him up and challenging. That time was Roeder. Gage getting in there that time and forcing him. Once he gets some momentum going, but he's so difficult to stop at 195 pounds as Nelson. But once he stops, that makes an opportunity to actually tackle and put him down a lot easier. But a good job of stopping him, getting outside by a host of Huskies, and Roeder there to bring him down. 2nd and 10 for the Rebels. Receiver split to the left and to the right. Faking the handoff. Wanting to go deep. He's going to get sacked. He tries to throw the ball and gets rid of it and almost completed it. Pure strength that time by Felton. He extended the play with pure strength here. It should have been a sack. Continued to push. Grab his way there right on that opportunity there. 59 for the Huskies, but incomplete, unable to hold on to that pass attempt. Sets now 3rd and 10, 9:30 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 3-point lead for Andover. The Rebels with the ball deep in the Husky territory. The snap back, sets up the screen, down low. Nelson has it, moves from the right to the left, and we're going to get a penalty flag in play. Nelson got near the goal line, but I think we're going to get a holding penalty, and that ball also was close to hitting the ground on the screen setup. Reads those blocks so well, but this time the blocking may have been a bit overzealous for the Rebels. Player is down also for the Huskies. Some cramping taking place. Appears to be what's the injury on that far side of the field. The officials trying to decide where that infraction took place. They mark it from there. 9:24 remaining here from Husky Stadium. In a football game which has not disappointed. Player that's back up and moving around there, number 4, Tristan Chenoweth.
Incomplete. It will be 4th down.
So that pass was incomplete. It looked like it had been trapped initially. So that killed the play. So no penalty would have existed there. You could see he just think it did. It bounced to him, and usually get that pressure busting through on that screen, but that time it was a trifecta of rushers coming at Felton. Couldn't get enough muster on that to get it to Nelson. So that'll bring up 4th down. Decision needs to be made here for Champlin Park. They hate to give the ball back to the Huskies. This thing tied at 14-14 at half. Both these teams, impressive wins in their opening games of the season for the Huskies. A 44-20 win over Wayzata. And for the Rebels, a 21-12 win over St. Michael Albertville. Also another player that needed some assistance from trainer in Lisa there. And finally, moving their way off the field. That was Aiden Garcia. Field goal attempt. This is going to be a distance. 37-yard attempt. The snap, the spot, the kick. Has leg, but it's going to be hooked. Missed it. Pulled it and hooked it. A 37-yard field goal attempt goes awry, and the Huskies will take over. On downs here, on missing on that field goal attempt. So, Huskies have had the ball just one time for one play in this 4th quarter. So you can see some of that pressure coming up the middle. Sometimes the kicker can lose focus on that ball, feeling that pressure up the middle. Wide left on that field goal. Huskies take over from where that snap took place, which was at the 20. Quickly back in. Huskies, 3 receivers to the right. Snap is back to Mapson. Mapson going to hand this off. Keep working the legs is Colin Gravik. Gravik here. Gravik. Actually, the younger brother of Logan Gravik. If that name sounds familiar, well, he scored the game-winning goal for the Andover Huskies when they won the state championship hockey tournament just a couple of years ago in 2021. This is the younger brother in Colin. Moving, snap, Mapson has it up the middle, stops, pivots, now tries to extend the play and carry it close to that 1st down marker. He'll be a couple of yards short, but he'll pick up 7 on the play. Initially, it was an injury stoppage of play, but now they reset the clock and get it moving. 8.5 to play, fourth quarter. Joe Rulland, Steve Thompson had to jump back and finish an on-air shift at WCCO Radio. And so it's Joe solo in the broadcast booths, hence the reason you don't hear from Steve at this point. Great to have you with us on this Friday night. A handoff and a short conversion. A big boom that time. Excellent block. And Gravik moves it ahead till about the 36-yard line. He had a burst that looked like he was going to take that one to the house. He does not need much room. We've seen the burst from Gravik all night long. 7:55 to play. Huskies a first down and the lead by 3, 24-21. Snap back to Mapson. Holds on to the ball. Cuts back. Surges ahead to the 40. Now pick up 4 on the play. Anoka just scored the touchdown right moments ago. Thank you, Ryan, for that headset. 27-22. They now have the lead over Forest Lake. A move to the left, Mapson. Roll up. Execution. Throws a laser. A perfect dime to Weigert. Weigert has had a fabulous night. A touchdown reception. And I have him now for his 7th reception of the evening. A first down. Huskies now can keep it. They wanted to keep that ball in play and keep the clock moving. South of 7 minutes by the time they take the snap here. Mapson gets it, cuts it back, and pulled back down on the defense. A great play there by the Rebels to shut it down. Mapson had some room ahead of him. Had he been able to break that tackle by Croman. Leaves 2nd and 7. The Huskies looking to move to 2-0. The Rebels looking to stop the Huskies here on this drive and get that ball back. Singling right now, some singles from 14 defensively as they picked up a tell on that set formation. Gravik gets the handoff, spin cycle, and just gets back to the line of scrimmage on that far side. You could see defensively they picked up on something that the Huskies may be running because Charles Ogitgo was signaling back to his teammates. This will leave 3rd and 8 now for Andover. They're just across midfield at the 49-yard line of the Rebels. Empty backfield. 5 receivers in play here for Andover. They'll roll the dice and maybe find one open. Rush comes in, stepping up to elude it. Climbs the ladder, makes the throw, and incomplete. In and out of the hands. Weigert that time had it knocked out of his hands. Good job that time by Mapson to walk that ladder in the pocket as he had the rush coming from both sides, and then he stepped up and threw a dart, maybe just a bit behind on the back shoulder pad there of Weigert, and the defender able to disrupt the pass completion. 5:40 now to play. Huskies are going to punt it away, or at least that's what it appears. Rebels looking like they may want to come in and try to block, and Andover will call a timeout. First of the half of the Huskies. Couldn't tell maybe if they were trying to draw them off, but in fact I think they wanted to reset when they saw the Huskies, or at least the Rebels, sending the numbers up there to maybe get a block. Coming up on the broadcast here at QCTV, it is tomorrow the Ramsey Happy Days Parade. Starts early in the morning there tomorrow. Meanwhile, on the 9th, it's volleyball. East Ridge Raptors visit the Andover Huskies. And then on the 12th, next Friday, the Cougars travel to take on the Rebels in Champlin Park. The following week, or that may be the same one, my bad, Coon Rapids is here at Andover to take on the Huskies. So a double feature again. Double dynamo for high school football next Friday night as well on the 12th. Now we're set, ready to punt. Mapson is back for the Huskies. 2 returners back. One of those, Eric Lukes, for the Rebels. Snap comes back. They send a little pressure in, end over end. It takes a bounce and now settles at about the 20-yard line, and that's where the Rebels will take over with 5:31 remaining after the punt by Mapson. Coming back out, Rebels get set. We'll see if they can get back to that role of running Nelson, who's over 100 yards already tonight, and 2 touchdowns. Felton takes the snap, handoff to Nelson. He bounces, gets over one. Great job coming in defensively to make a shoestring tackle. Raisler with that shoestring tackle. Nelson had some acreage to run had he been able to elude that tackle by Raisler. He could have gotten outside. Excellent job. Timely tackle. Clutch. Pure clutch there. 2nd down 10 now for the Rebels. South of 5 minutes to play. Around the left side. Felton's going to keep it himself. Powers his way through. The big fella is full down, but not before he gets beyond the first down marker and some bonus yards. So about the 31. That size, strength. He had the leverage. He got the momentum going. The ball tucked under that left arm to secure it, and then finally tossed down on the tackle. But again, first down for the Rebels. 4.5 to play. They have hit on a pass to their tight end on a couple of occasions. This is student body right on this sweep. Held on that time by Miles Felton. He'll pick up about a nickel and lead a 2nd and 5. The one that has been the recipient of a touchdown pass has been Isaac Axness. And Axness had a couple of opportunities where he was open here in the second half, but it's been Felton who has missed hitting him. One time it was deflected and knocked down by the defensive line of Andover. But that's a play they'll probably go to during some clutch time. Up the middle, Nelson scurries, bumps, and bruises his way near the first down marker. They'll stop the clock. Will they settle? Will they measure? Nope. They'll say first down and wave the flags by. The markers move on down. Set now for first down from the 43. 3:20 left in this contest. Excellent game, tied at 14-14 at half. Handoff again to Nelson, goes off the tackle, has some room, bounces to the outside. He's to the 40, and then another shoestring tackle. Pulls him down just as he crosses the 40-yard line. Big time pickup there of 18 on the play by Nelson. They've dialed this number. You can see they pull to get outside and get the numbers, and a nice tackle there by the Huskies to save additional yardage, surely to be had by Nelson. Under 3 to play. 1st and 10. Rebels are on the move. Felton's going to hold on to it. Run a quarterback sweep to the right side, and he powers his way ahead. Again, that offensive line, some impressive size. They've got a 6'2 left tackle at 280. Schornstein, 6'2", 260. The center, Sam Yang, 5'11", at 290. The left tackle, Billy Vang, 6'2", 260. 2:20 to play. They gave him a first down. They to Felton. 2 receivers to the left. They're going to hand it back. Again, just pounding and grounding this all the way down the field. No show of a pass attempt. But that's always a good setup if you're the Rebels to maybe bounce it back. 2 plays that have been consistently successful if completed. One was the pass to the tight end on the seam, and the other has been a screen pass to Nelson. A point that time on the tackle. 1:40 on the march. This is 2nd and 6 for the Rebels. They hold on to it here. Barnes ahead, almost knocked loose. There's a fumble, hit hard. Felton, who got on top of it? Who has the possession? They'll unpack the players, and it's recovered by the Rebels, but time is ticking here. 1:31 to go. Rebels have all 3 timeouts left. And down on the ground is a player here trying to get a cramp, I believe, worked out. Tough play. Boy, that was a hard hit on Felton as he just got around the corner. It's going to leave a 3rd and 2 for the Rebels. As we resume play, you can tell the first game of the year last week, a lot of stoppage of play just with cramps. That's normal. And here, not as many this week, but still, when you're playing this physical a brand of ball that both these teams are throughout 4 quarters, those cramps are certain to come, and that's the situation here for the Rebels. The Rebels come in 1-0. A record last year of 4-6. Meanwhile, for Andover, a mark of 7-3 as their season ended in Elk River. They were trying to win that section championship. Back up. It looked like that to be Trace Fitzgerald. With that cramp, keep in mind, Fitzgerald is also their field goal kicker. As we have now a 3rd and 2 for the Rebels. They are in field goal range, but they want to forge ahead. 3 timeouts remaining for the Rebels. Clock is in motion. Handoff to Nelson. Goes around the left side. Has that first down. And that'll stop the clock as they reset the change. They'll quickly do it. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. The Rebels are on a roll. An impressive drive here. They took over with about 5.5 minutes to play here in this 4th. Quickly to the line, they start the clock. It'll be a minute when they snap this ball remaining. Faking the handoff. Loft down the middle. Oh, wide open for his 2nd touchdown reception. Isaac Agnes. Couldn't have been more wide open. The Huskies have had trouble covering that receiver on that play. 2nd touchdown reception for Agnes. Oh, my. As Felton had all day. Huskies anticipating the run. And there, taking it to the house and giving the Huskies, the Rebels, the lead here with less than 60 seconds left. This, the extra point, and a 4-point lead. Fitzgerald back in for this extra point. He was just down with that cramp and puts this one through the uprights. A 4-point lead. That 1 point is huge. Forces the Huskies to, in fact, get a touchdown on this final possession. Impressive march down the field, about 80 yards on that drive, and 90% of those plays on the way to drive were running plays. A couple of pass attempts, and finally it was a pass to Agnes. 6'3", 220-pound tight end. And they've had a payday on the same play all night. Agnes, I believe now I have for 5 receptions tonight. And the 2 touchdown receptions. Here goes the Huskies ready to receive. I will say this, by Husky standards, that's still plenty of time, and they have 2 timeouts remaining. down by 4. An impressive drive by the Rebels as they try to get a win and take the rivalry at 3-2. It's the 5th time these two teams have met. Previous to that, the last time they met was back on 2016. Approaching now, it's ready to launch this kickoff. The Rebels send it deep. It hits the turf. Picked up at about the 5. Scooting back, cutting back. There's a seam now continuing to forge ahead to about the 25. Was Andover and Gravik. I stand corrected. That was 7.
First down, Huskies.
Landon picked it up there for that reception, or for the return to the 25 there for the Huskies. Now here we go, first down and 10, 53 seconds left. Huskies 75 yards away. A quick out, complete. Completion there to Fields. A quick out. If you're the Rebels here, the last thing you want is any personal foul. It'll stop the clock and advance the ball 15 yards. So they need to be smart as they're tackling. Roll to their near side. Has a receiver. Tosses it deep. Getting space. Tangled up with the defensive back. They wanted a flag. That was intended. Jorgensen. Excuse me, for Erickson. Incomplete. They felt like that ball was too far over the head of Erickson. And he was also trying to maybe clutch that hand of the Rebels D-back and draw the penalty. 43 seconds left. This is 3rd and 2, Andover. First step here, get the first down. Mapson getting around. He's tangled up. That could be a penalty here. That looked like they had horse collared, tackled Mapson. And the clock continues to move. Very close. They got to hurry up and line up, and the Huskies are going to burn a timeout. You can see here, it looked like he had, but it was brought him down. I think he grabbed him by the shoulder pad to slow him down. That by one of their strong players, another strong defensive player here for the Rebels. Ogunti, a 6'3", 210-pound. He'll play defensive end. He'll play linebacker. He'll even return punts. So set here, Ogunti with that tackle. It was Mapson really just trying to squeeze out and get that first down, which was just a yard away. That's going to leave 4th and a yard. They burn a timeout, so they have just one left over to the Huskies. A call out to everyone tonight. Hey, thanks for joining us on this QCTV Friday Night Light Sports presentation. Everyone doing a good job here with the cameras in the truck, matching the play as well on the field. Huskies come to the line now, needing a yard for a first down. They are at their own 34-yard line. Mapson ready for the snap. He gets it, rolls to the right, tries to bring it in. He's caught from behind, but he forges ahead. Individual effort to get the first down. They're going to mark the first down, and Mapson was a little slow to get up. Clock on the move now. 21 seconds. Set. First down for the Huskies. They're on their own 36-yard line. The snap to Mapson. 3 receivers to the left. He wants to go to the right. He does, but he overthrows the intended receiver in Fields at that time. A lot of time off that clock from the time that they set the ball down after the change for the first down. In fact, about 11 seconds. So now it is 2nd and 10. And Andover at their own 36-yard line. 12 seconds left in the game. Rush comes in. Mapson throws deep. A wide open receiver, and he overthrows. That was one. If he could have hit him in the seam or just a little lower, Weigert that time extended every inch of his body, and he was left wide open. Not saying he would have gotten the touchdown, but it would have been a tough tackle for that safety coming over if he got his feet down and cut it up. But he extended completely, probably knocked the wind out of himself by trying to extend those hands. Oh, there, you get another look here. You see it. They faked that screen, come back, that bubbler screen, and to the receiver. That brought up the defense and left that seam open. Just maybe a little too much velo and a little too high on that pass by Mapson. Mapson, a couple of touchdown runs tonight and a touchdown pass as well. Get a look at more from Dan's fan cam. Great job. Kind of in that moment shot. Gotta love it. You're getting a look over there from the Champlin Park side. And their fans, they've brought with them complete stacked seating just below us on the Andover side of the stands. About 1,800 is what that seats. We've got it now 3rd and 10. 8 seconds left. Mapson drops back. Wants to run, but he's got to throw. He will throw. He's got a receiver who's behind the defense. He's caught the reception at the 18. They've got to run up and stop the clock. Time has expired. Time is at 0. After the completion, he continued to run, and that expired the clock. Wow, what an exciting play. About a 50-yard completion. No, they're going to put up some time. They're going to give them one. They're going to give the Huskies one play. Do not go away. Here's an opportunity. Andover maybe calling the timeout here. They have one left. They do call the timeout. So here's the deal. Situation. The officials said that there was 1 second left. Completion there, brought it down, was Brett Erickson. The sophomore climbed the ladder, made the catch, got behind the defense. Mapson found him, and what a dime he did throw to Erickson. We're set now, so he brought it down. It looked like time had expired, but the official said there's 1 second left, and that's where it's set. Ready to go with the ball now on the 19-yard line. The Huskies are down by 4. That's why they can't attempt the field goal. The Rebels huddle with their team, as do the Huskies. This, you knew it was going to be a great game. You just didn't know it was going to be this fantastic. A tick left on the clock. Huskies come from the sideline, as do the Rebels from theirs. The Rebels have a defender, 2 of them right on the goal line. Huskies bring 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Mapson getting ready to take the snap, and I got a hunch the Rebels are going to take timeout. Now that they've seen, they will. Yep, the Rebels take the timeout. They have all 3 left. We get ready for what more than likely will be the last play of the game. Huskies looking to move to 2-0 if they can come up with a miraculous play from the 19-yard line and get the touchdown. The Rebels, if they hold on, they do move to 2-0 to start this season. Rebels had a couple of defenders, some safeties right on the goal line set up there. They got the look from the Huskies. It was 3 receivers to the right and 2 to the near side. We'll see if the Huskies change formations as they come back to the field. Gravink stays in the back field with Mapson. Now 3 receivers to the right, just 1 here to the left for Andover. Ready to take the snap, 1 second left to snap. Taken back, going back. Mapson makes the throw, throws the ball, elevating, intercepted right at the goal line. Mapson was hit just as he let go of the ball and elevating it and getting the interception. The Rebels take home the win, a close one and a thriller here from Husky Stadium tonight. It is a 28-24 Rebel win. Rebels trailed at one point 14-0. They stormed back, tied it. And then the second half had the teams exchanging leads on a couple of occasions, and finally the Rebels, with 59 seconds left, get the go-ahead touchdown. And the Huskies left short at the 19-yard line on an attempt to pass that was intercepted on the goal line by the Rebels to give Andover a 28, to give the Rebels a 28-24 win. A thriller on a Friday Night Lights here on QCTV. Champlin Park moves to 2-0. The Huskies drop to 1-1 on the season. Thanks for joining us on this QCTV sports presentation. The whole crew, a great job. Dan with the cam and the whole staff with their camera working in the truck. Fabulous as well. Great support all around here. And a tough one for the Huskies. They take the loss, 28-24. Congrats to the Rebels. They move to 2-0. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Rulin. Have yourself a major league evening at a minor league price.